WIFTVPN.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Are we on?
Great afternoon to you wonderful people. Welcome inside the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery. Most of the time, it's absolute finest. Today, we'll see where it is. We appreciate y'all tuning in so very, very much. Every single weekday, 3 to 6 p.m., we get together right here with you guys, and we discuss issues that are impacting the black community, how those issues impact us as individuals, but also how they impact us as a collective. And along with your help, we talk through many of these issues in hopes of finding the optimum solutions for overcoming said issues. Again, overcoming them as individuals, but more importantly, overcoming them as a collective. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. We greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you all. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything that you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We will read through as many of your comments as possible while we go through the show. We would kindly request you please take a quick second to share the broadcast by clicking on the little arrow in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Share it to your personal page. Share it even within your personal network. Absolutely anyone that you think would add value to this conversation or find value in this particular conversation, we welcome them to be a part of the discussion in hopes of giving us the optimum chance of finding the best solutions going forward. So please, please, please take a quick moment to share the broadcast. Also, if you feel so inclined, you can contribute to the show by clicking on the little gold stars in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. We certainly appreciate each and every one of those as well. Again, this is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is Two. What's happening, good brother?
I'm blessed and highly favored, famo. How you?
Man, ain't nothing to it, man. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good on this here hump day. Holidays is coming up. Always looking forward to that. I'm not a real big Christmas dude. I'm not like into the celebration and stuff like that. I haven't really celebrated Christmas in the traditional way that I came to understand it growing up. Probably since like, I don't know, 2015, we first did like the boycott, and it just never really made sense for me to hop back into that tradition of I need to go out and buy everybody I know a gift so they know that I love them and spend like it don't make sense to me. And so haven't done that in a while, but I find little thoughtful gifts, little trinkets and stuff like that to give to the shorties in my family for sure. But I just enjoy the time of getting around some loved ones, hanging out a little bit. So looking forward to doing a little bit of that tomorrow and Friday as well.
Yeah, I don't got no clue how this shit going down for me in this season. I've not bought or purchased any damn thing. I purchased my wife some stuff, but that ain't even gonna come till January. I was going through contemplating last night if I was gonna go grab my daughter something. I know I'm not grabbing my son nothing, but I might go grab my daughter.
Get up off him like that.
No, I ain't on him like that. We just build him in over here. And I made it a long time, made it understanding a long time ago that, at 14, no matter what, all of this stops.
I did.
You know what I mean?
I did.
So, yeah, I know I'm not doing that. And, too, it's also a little bit out of, I don't want to say spite, but just, to make a point. Like, yeah, I'm serious. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I might go grab my daughter something light.
I dig it.
But she also told me she wanted me to invest in her business. So my baby girl's an entrepreneur. So she's
yeah, she a long-term thinker like that. She like, I'll forego the toys or clothes or whatever it is. Yeah. Invest in what I'm actually trying to do.
Yeah, she's a capitalist. You know what I mean? She's a daddy's child in a lot of lights, but in a lot of lights, she's like, man, what would you talking about? I'm out here.
No, I dig that, man. I dig that, and I'm always happy to see shorties that's under that act.
Yeah, I appreciate that she got interest.
Right.
You know what I mean? I always try to get behind both of their interests in all actuality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
He also asked the same of me, I think last year for his birthday, he wanted to start a little T-shirt business. So I gave him all the bread to start his T-shirt business. I actually designed the product for him. But see, herein lies the difference between her and him.
What's that?
We went and got the T-shirts. We went and got the T-shirts printed. He sat there in the T-shirt printing office, damn near falling asleep. right? Then he gets all the T-shirts, and instead of going and selling them, he wears all of them. You know, it's just, I love him, but he drives me crazy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So,
hey, do you think Eric might be narcoleptic or something? You think he got like a what?
He ain't no
what is
narcoleptic.
Do they having like low? What is it? Low iron? Low?
Ain't
What?
no low nothing. You know what it is? It's, I'm gonna stay up to 5 in the morning playing this damn.
Is
NBA
that what it is?
Yeah, G, he ain't. It's
Because one of my brothers, like he was like Matt. Matt fall asleep anywhere, anytime. I just called him like, you narcoleptic, dude. All like you be talking to this fool in the middle of the kind of like how you did at the end of the show yesterday. Just like
I nodded like a no fig. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Matt will fall asleep on your ass in the middle of anything. He be playing the game with Matt. He fall asleep like, hey, bro, you tweaking? Like,
what's wrong with you?
Just knocked out. And so I see Eric sleep a lot, but if he be up to 5 in the morning, I don't never see him around that time. I see him around the time when he's catching up from being up at 5 in the morning. So.
Yeah, man. So, you know. But, yeah, so he asked the same thing, like I said last year.
They went to breakfast and they wouldn't eat, but he fell asleep on the table at the fucking restaurant.
That's dude. That's the little dude. You know, they both working a little job right now. Shout out to Mama Wade and Vic Love and Josephine's Restaurant. They gave my kids a gig.
That's popping.
For the holiday season. So both of them over there trying to earn some little money. And, you know, they only been there for like a couple days so far. And every day they come home, Bella's like, you know, I did all the work, Daddy. He just was kind of there, you know. I'm going to have to take care of him when he gets older, Daddy. Just trust me. I'll hold you down. I'm going to take care of him. I'm not going to like doing it, but I'm going to do it.
At least she know early that she got to take care of that fool.
Yeah, she definitely going to have to hold him up because he got his own agenda for sure.
Nah, that's funny, man.
You know what I mean? I wanted to, real quick, man, shout out to Patrick Brutus. Every year, this dude, Patrick Brutus, I don't know if you know Patrick, but
I don't think so.
He's kind of stable out here in the community.
Okay.
Does a lot of stuff in the community, but he does these like yearly awards on his Facebook page or whatever. And this year, he gave the What's in It for the Black People Media Team Award. It went to Mays, but it said, and the 2020 winner for the Brutus Facebook Person of the Year in the category of Say It, Spread, Delay It, But You Will Play It. Envelope, please. Mays Jackson. So he shouted out the whole What's in It for the Black People team. I'm gonna read what he said. He said, congratulations in 2020. COVID has been very good to this emerging mogul.
Oh.
With the society structure changing instantly overnight, literally, Mays was positioned with the launch of his new show to provide an all-day entertainment vehicle that would keep listeners engaged.
All day, shawty.
Because now they could listen from home. All day,
shawty.
So not only did Mays Jackson Page host his show, but another of other shows were launched on the What's in It for the Black People media channel. This reminds many of us to who to follow closely of the early days of. This reminds many of us who follow business closely of the early days of Sirius Radio as they built out an entire lineup of programming and talent, which created a number of new media darlings. This promises to do the same right here in Chicago. Is an IPO next for May? Stay tuned to our version of No Limit Records and the next Bad Boy. Wave of shows and stars next as he continues making the band. I don't like being compared to the goddamn band.
Yeah, but I bet you Mays like being compared to Diddy, though.
I know he does love that shit.
Diddy can't
and being called a mogul.
Mays can't wait to tell Lil Ron to walk to.
Shout to Mays and for Patrick for giving him the award. But we got to clear some shit up right away. First of all of these shows had launched before What's in It for the Black People. We all merged.
Right.
We're going to give each other their valuable respect.
These are true. Everybody was already doing
But I damn sure ain't the band, and I ain't going to get no goddamn cheesecake.
Are you a media darling?
Yeah, he put me on the, I don't know.
Are you a media darling?
That's kind of sensitive, too. You know
Y'all, is Tucson a media darling?
That's kind of sensitive, you know what I mean?
Do that sound like, too, a media darling?
I'm an outlaw. I'm a media outlaw.
You a media darling.
I'm the pocket this media shit. No, but shout out to Mays and Patrick. That was a dope little
commentary. No, that's dope. Mays can't wait to tell Lil Ron to walk to Maywood for cheesecake. Okay, Lil Ron to be footing it too.
You know he would get a kick out of that one.
Shout out to Lil Ron, man. He put up last night in his brand new
whip. Ron. He medium Ron right now.
Right,
you know medium Ron around this motherfucker. He got him a shiny whip. I walked outside and I was just telling you, I'm like, who the fuck didn't put this shiny ass, clean ass car behind my dirty ass car, making my car look bad? Here come Lil Ron walking up, getting in the car. I say, fool, look, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, get this shit away from my car. What's funny, though, I didn't even put it in the context, though. As soon as we walked in the other day, Ron was like, man, when y'all get out there, I got to show y'all something.
He did say
I got to show y'all something.
He did.
I got to show y'all something.
I thought it was about something else, but definitely was about the whip.
Shout out to Brandon Tomlin, man. Talk about die.
Them niggas walk to Brooklyn for cheesecake. How bad you want to be on, fam?
Hey,
I'm not walking to Brooklyn for cheesecake.
That what you gotta do, fam.
It didn't even work out.
Hey.
Diddy cashed out off the TV show. He cashed off that one Making the Band album, which was actually decent. Like
I never heard it.
You never listened to none of the Making the Band album.
Nope.
It was actually kind of decent. It had a couple. I'm not saying it was like a fire album, but it had some tracks on there that was decent.
That's a salute. I never had no desire. I would have never heard that.
Diddy cashed that off the TV show, cashed it off their album, and then that was it. Got rid of all of them. You ain't never heard from Freddie. What is his name? Freddie, the dude from Miami, the little short, dirty braid one. Dylon neither. Enes kind of kept a little bit rolling. The dude from Philly. Mm-hmm. The rest of them cats, Chopper from New Orleans, I ain't never heard from him again. And Babs kept her thing going. Babs is doing the Queen of the
Battleground,
Ring
right?
In the hip hop, yeah, in the Battleground, she do the Queen of the Ring for the females on that side. So she kept her thing going. Enes kind of kept his thing going. The rest of them I ain't really heard from since.
Yeah, that's the only names I would even Dylon, because Dylon.
Yeah, because he was funny on the show. Like,
but it ain't funny on the show. That just that saying itself has kind of become part of the lexicon, the conversation. We all like when we do some code. Dylon. That's why I remember that. But the Babs chick, I only remember her because Eric is into the battle rap, so I be saying them on that. But I wouldn't have been able to name none of them people. So.
Yeah, I like the battle rap scene. I'm heavy into it. Not so much the female side. There's a few of them that can spit. But I like the battle rappers, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to couldn't wait for them Smack DVDs to drop with Murder Mook and Loaded Lux and Serious Jones and Cassidy, like all them cats back in the day just battling freestyle. Well, not freestyle, but acapella. I mean, no beat. I like that. I like that a lot, man. So
yeah, it's turned into a whole industry, man. Hip hop changes over time.
Yeah, cats used to do that for free. You just show up with a camera somewhere doing like I remember Murder Mook battled like Party Artie, like he battled 80 on the and then he battled Jay Mills outside. Like, he was just big stupid battles outside where nobody really getting paid. I mean, there might have been a couple side bets going on, but they wasn't getting paid like they are now when that cats is, commanding 10, 20 bands just to show up and spit, whether they choke or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of different. To me, in a way, in a lot of ways, since it's gone so commercial, it's a little bit watered down now. Just in terms of how the actual battles go, they be long as shit. First of all, they used to be like you spit your verse and you'll have like 3 minutes. You spit your joint for 3 minutes or whatever, and then you be done. But now they stop every single bar. Every time they spit a bar, they stop, let the crowd go crazy. One damn round take 20 minutes. It's hard as hell watching that shit now, but I do like it nonetheless. So shout out to the battle rap culture. I appreciate it. I respect it. Diddy, bro. Diddy use so many people for just like one and done albums.
You mean Love?
Yeah, that dude.
Brother Love. He fully changed his name again.
Brother Love, man. Like he was so many one. Like after Big died, and like that was it. Everybody else was just one and done, right? Like he put Mason in that spot. You had the Locks. You was jerking the Locks. They went to Rough Riders, and then everybody else was just one and done album. G'd Up, Black Rob, Loon, Carl Thomas, Mario Winans, like on and on, and the nigga that sound like Big, Shine, like all them cats just one album and done, one album and done, one album. Diddy was just recycling cats just to keep Bad Boy and Diddy relevant, but nothing for them cats.
Yeah, you really was a Diddy fan because I forgot most of them artists that you even named.
I was Bad Boy crazy. I ain't gonna front. Like I was ready to send it up with Suge on a weekly basis.
But part of that, though, we laugh and joke about that. Here's something I always found interesting about the Diddys, the Jay-Z's, even the Dr. Dre's, even the Suge Knights for that matter, right? If you go back and do the research,
112 did had a good run.
If you go back and do the research, and P2, Master P2, right? You go back and do the research. All these dudes was born within 1 year of each other.
Craig Mack, good call, Boosie, him too.
All those dudes was born in 1 year of each other, right? And you think about it, like just to add context, like if we doing the real math.
Total had an album, they might have had two.
If we doing the real math, Kanye is probably the biggest rapper.
We'll be raping you.
Right?
Yeah.
Kanye is probably, in regards to like sales and all that, Kanye,
100%.
Regardless of how you feel about him.
He's an international superstar.
He's different. He's Michael Jackson, right? But he's not them guys in regards to like mogul status.
Nah.
Right?
Nah.
And
even though good music roster is,
but he's still not them guys.
Nah.
He's like tier B. You know what I mean? And you think about in context, like, we talk about capitalism, how it works, and how there are these windows, right? Like you offer these opportunities through XYZ windows at certain periods of time, and then that shit closes off. It don't matter what you do no more. So here we all can say outright, Kanye sells more records than all these motherfuckers. But he's not their status. And it's just interesting to see that all of them were born within a couple years of each other. Then you get this 10-year, 15-year lapse, and you get a Kanye. He missed the window.
P, Baby.
All the dudes who is the moguls of the industry, they all kind of entered around that open window time. We don't think
timing
of it like
is
that.
everything, dog.
Yeah, but timing is everything. We don't think of it like that. You know what I mean? But because no matter, like, I hate No Limit. You know what I mean? Like the music. Right. I respect the hustle, but the music is just ass to me. It's always been ass. It's like, for people who read with their finger under the words or something like that. That's how I look at that shit. That is not for real. That's just bad music.
What's wrong with reading like this?
Yeah, that's a problem. You know what I mean? It's fourth grade music in my mind. But I fully understand the effect. You know what I mean? But it's just amazing to see the levels of success that all those cats have had.
Make them say,
I'm dumb.
dumb.
Yeah. But it's just interesting to see the success them all them dudes have, and then Kanye being on this kind of B tier when he's in regards to like sales, he equates to higher numbers.
Yeah, but like you said, it's timing, and for Ye, the best thing has been for him was to tie himself to Rockefeller, stick with Jay, ride with Rock Nation, and then start good music under that umbrella. And good music, like I said earlier, has a phenomenal roster in and of itself. It's headed by Ye, but then you got Big Sean, you got Pusha T, 2 Chainz. Like they roster is pretty solid on good music, Common, and so. Timing is important. You look at somebody like
Common ain't on good music. Oh, and shout out to Common.
Common not on good music. Since when?
He ain't never been on good music. He leveraged the imprint to put out whatever album he was on just for marketing purposes, but he ain't never been on good music. All right. But I just wanted to say shout out to Common because Gino was in here hating on Common album. Like, that shit is trash. But I'm a Common fan. Like, Common is probably my favorite rapper, so I had to go back and check it out. And Gino's wrong. It's not trash. I just had to put that out there.
It don't sound like it's fire either, though.
It's Common, though. But it's not trash. We're not going to disrespect the Hope from 87 like that. You understand me?
Think with your mind and not with your heart, too. Shit is trash.
It's not trash.
Look, man, we got to take a break. When we come back from break, we'll hop into the conversation for today. There are some things that we want to show you. There are some conversations and some contradictions about relationships that we want to get into. Some videos from the great Iyanla sounding like the great Toussaint, which is interesting in and of itself. Gonna have that conversation and more on the other side of this break. This is I Said What I Said. Herman 2 till 6. We'll be right back.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
WIIFTBPM.
All day. Check it out. See, while you was on the corner trying to scrape up pack money, I was driving 80 stack trucks off rap money. I'm back money. If you want it, come to the hundreds and ask for me. Meet them OGs that are blast for me. I'm right here. Ill Adidas, $400 jeans on me. Itchy with no safety, a loaded magazine on me. Southside, that's as wild as it gets. And no, I never sold crack. That's some house nigga shit. I'm not judging, but every man that's a man gotta stand by his principles, and I'm not budging. That's Mickey. You can take it how you want, but you can never be me. You can fake it how you want. I spit that uncut raw. You can bake it how you want. Break it down any way you like. You get the same result. Get in tune. The elephant in the room has now assumed pole position. Whoa. from the gutter where that butter get gorillas jobs. That's why we call it work. The same work will get a nigga robbed. I throw my dice against the concrete. If the bitches pass, see you later. Grab my paper, tell her they to kiss my ass. This the jungle, baby, I'm a lion. Try me, I'll be firing. The same banger saved Private Ryan. You the prey, you survive and hide. Better pray that them vultures and them rovers don't go flying by them. The mother niggas just so-so. How in the birth a nigga this hot in the cold go? I went from 20-inch assassins on that Osmo to the pretty 760 sitting low on them bozos. Those are big shoes, you motherfuckers is so slow. Get caught without your heat in these streets is a no-no. Baby need Pampers, daddy need that photo. It's bread or nothing, big old niggas, you see the logo.
East Side, stand the fuck up. Bump.
Shout out to the Hunters with Mick.
Over East. East Side crazy.
Yeah, we got to play that third verse. The he from the low.
Listen, man, welcome
Way
back,
down
man.
there.
Welcome back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Tucson Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. Shout out to my sis, Emerald Green is in the building. The one and only Emerald Green.
Like a block off house.
Emerald Green, the legendary spoken word artist. Emerald Green, like a block off hosted. If you're from the Chi, you'll get that. If you're from the Chi and you don't get that, move.
Yeah. You had a terrible childhood.
You didn't have a good childhood if you're from the Chi and you don't get that Emerald Green like a block off hosted reference. That is the best name I've ever heard in entertainment.
Yeah, that's super dope.
That shit is fire. Like
I just want two of my favorite nicknames in Chicago right now.
Yeah,
Emerald Green,
yeah,
like a block off house,
yeah.
and my homie C Line from the Nine. I love that.
See live from the 9. Yeah. Fuck with it. Fuck with it, man. Emerald Green, shout out to you, sis. Hope all is well. Emerald Green, like 10 minutes from delivering a baby. She like her due date was like
Oh, she
5
just
minutes
delivered
ago.
the baby.
Yeah, she should have delivered the baby.
She did deliver the baby.
Did she?
Yeah, you had a tune.
Em, you had the baby already?
Congratulations on the baby, Emerald.
How
Like
the
a block
fuck
off
you know
house.
that and I don't know that.
I know you ain't shit. You're terrible.
She posted it?
Yeah, that's how I know.
Oh, I've been
She
off
just said, "Hey y'all, we home." See,
I've been off social media. I
got
ain't
the
know.
loop.
I ain't
You know
know.
what I mean?
Well, I'll be goddamn. Congratulations, sis. Hope everything went well. I'm sure it is. You and Billy are pros at this thing now. Y'all just drop them and roll. drop them and roll. They got a little basketball team going on
Yeah,
over
they
there.
got a squad now.
Yeah, they ain't playing no games,
They
man.
can play that 3-man weave all day long.
They ain't playing no games, man. I love them, man. Their whole family is dope. So another addition is dope. I don't even know what they had because they don't never. They always wait until the baby come. They don't never like figure out what the gender is before. They just wait until the baby come and
I respect that.
You know.
Let God decide.
yeah, let it be what it's gonna be. Em, can you tell me what?
It's a boy, I think.
It's a boy.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that. I don't know. We could ask.
Come on, Em, give me the information. I'm thirsty. Anyway, shout out to Emerald Green, man. If you're not in tune, make sure y'all follow her on social media at Emerald Green. She is the absolute best.
Your mom said she had a girl. I'm gonna believe your mama.
Well, she know. She
Mama
knows.
say his name Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Mama named Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's Emerald Green, y'all. She's the best. Also, before we go any further, actually, I'm remiss in not even doing this at the top of the show, man. I want to send nothing but love and well wishes and strength and condolences to our sister,
Absolutely.
one and only Don Millhouse. Right before her show went live earlier today, she got the news that her mother-in-law had passed away. So I want to send nothing but the best thoughts and lift up the entire family, keeping her and Wilbur in our thoughts as they go through what has to be a challenging time. I don't care what the circumstances are, how old a person may be. That's always a very, very tough thing to deal with. So our thoughts and prayers are with you, sis, are with Wilbur and the entire family. Take care of what you guys need to take care of, and we will see you back here whenever it is right for you and the fam for you to be back in your rightful place. But y'all keep Don and Wilbur and the entire family lifted up as they go through this trying time.
Condolences.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bigs too, man. They just held it down on the soil as they always do.
They always do. Talking about them bum ass Bulls is playing tonight.
The Bulls are huff.
As fuck.
As fuck. Bulls are super.
It's like
duper huff.
13th grade Simeon.
Yeah, they aren't good. They are not good. They are not good. The Bears. Oddly
Our
enough,
Huff too.
Our Huff too, but they doing the very Bears thing to do, which is to try and win some games late to kind of salvage a lost season. And they actually they still have a chance to backdoor their way into the playoffs. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. They got to win their last 2 games. Most likely they have to win their last 2 games. They got the Jaguars this week, which they should be able to win that game. And they got the Packers next week, which they probably won't win that game. So they'll probably end up 8-8, not go to the playoffs, and also not have a very good draft pick. So
Regular Bear season.
it was real Bearsy of them to lose 6 in a row and then try to come back and win, 3 out
But
of 4,
I don't,
4
I
out of
don't,
5.
I don't blame the Bears. Nor do I blame like the Bulls. At the end of the day, I blame Chicago. Right? You don't have to win in Chicago, and you can still make all their money. You know what I mean? So when you got a business model like that, shit, go with the flow.
When your fan base is gonna show up regardless.
Yeah, you don't have to spend no money.
Yeah.
Right? It's all profit.
We selling tickets off Jordan.
Off Jordan.
We selling tickets off Walter Payton.
And D-Rose and
D-Rose, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
real.
Like
we selling those tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as long as we can sell them tickets and people are buying them, it's funny too, man. I just culturally, like, you remember when like the Yankees hat was like it was almost like the uniform for hip hop, right? Like I remember the Yankees hat always kind of was like a staple in hip hop. Like I would see cats in Chicago wearing the Yankees hat, and that used to bother me, right? Get your goof ass out of here. This is Chicago, right? But what I'm noticing now,
I had me some fresh Yankees growing up, some fresh Yankees fitters growing up.
I can believe that. You look like you was a Diddy fan. Yeah, I see you. You're a Confederate. That's you told your story right there. But what I'm noticing though in the social lexicon today, these kids, everybody's wearing Chicago shit. It's much more popular than the and it's not just Chicago shit. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit for real. It's bullshit.
Shit, I made
but
a Yankee cat
it
more
all
famous
goes
than
back
the
to the
Yankee
bottom
cat.
line. They always making their money. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to win. And even the people that wear the Bulls paraphernalia, I would assume a lot of that is based on like the legacy of D Rose, because these are young kids. Like Eric is 15. D Rose, no matter how much he falls down, that's Eric's favorite player. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like I like this guy, but D Rose is the guy.
That's
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's just very interesting to see how that plays out nationally now when it's like everybody outside of the crib is rocking the crib stuff. When I used to be mad, like people in the crib, at the crib, when other people stuff. Like, just say New York, take that goof shit off.
Right. I say you trying to cash out for the 8-8 Bears. I ain't mad at you, sis.
What's the Pimp C line? Take that goofy shit off. You embarrassing us. I love that line.
Hey, you pulled up bumping that UGK today.
Yes, sir. I've been in a UGK kind of mood, G. I've been riding the Pimp C. I've been in the gym a little bit on some fake working out, like just like walking and shit, because my hip is killing me. But it's all been Chad, baby. All UGK.
Sweet Jones in the building.
Sweet Jones.
I dig it. Why are we talking about hats, man? I think that the Yankees fitted, the Sox fitted. Probably the 2 most popular fitted hats. I've gotten away from like wearing the team fitteds for the most part, unless it like ridiculously matches an outfit that I have, and I just can't not cop it. Like some, local Chicago black designer. I don't mean local like they clothes don't go nowhere else, but they from the crib. But if I had to rank them, like the more popular ones, I would definitely go Yankees number 1, like a classic blue Yankee fitted. The black Sox fitted. I gotta go with the Atlanta, the A's joint.
I wouldn't even put that on that, but I don't know.
The Oakland A's joint, the green with the yellow A on it.
I would put LA before that.
The Dodgers joint. Yeah, you gotta roll with. You gotta have the Dodgers joint in there for sure. But I think you gotta put the Oakland A's in there too, and I gotta put the Braves in there too. Those would probably be my 5: Yankees, Sox, Braves, A's, Dodgers. Although that Cincinnati Reds joint is smacking. And don't tell nobody, but I used to love the Astros hat. The star, but it was broken, so it was.
I was thinking of the Reds, but I don't know. I ain't
that Cincinnati Reds one was fire. I don't. I didn't mean to digress like that. I just why the fittest was in my head.
Boosie showing that St. Louis side, Riding Dirty is a top 5 album to me all time. Sweet John. Now, I ain't gonna never put UGK at the top 5 for nothing, but I've been rocking out to it for the last week. I can't lie.
UGK, they top 5 of rap groups.
I like them. I just like them because they elder statesmen at this point.
Locks
like
number 1. Then maybe
the Locks ain't number 1
yes they are
for rap groups.
Yeah.
Are you high?
No, I'm not.
Oh
high.
my God.
Who you got number 1?
You-
Wu-Tang.
You've never heard of Public Enemy. You've never heard of.
I've
Tribe
heard of
Called
Public
Quest?
Enemy. I've heard of
You've
Tribe
never
Called
heard
Quest.
of EPMD.
I've heard of them.
And you put the locks above
I've
them?
heard of the Boogeyman too.
Boy,
like,
you crazy.
hell no, man. I'm rocking with.
That's why you're an Eminem fan. That's why. That's exactly why.
I'm rocking with the.
You have a distorted view of what hip hop is.
I'm rocking with the Locks, man.
Okay.
Kiss is top 5. Any other
Top
them other
five
groups got
of
somebody
what?
top 5
Of what?
of my favorite rappers?
What do you mean? You said does any of them other dudes have top 5 of what?
Of your favorite rappers?
That's your favorite.
I said yours.
No.
Oh, okay then.
But that don't mean nothing.
Whatever.
It don't.
Okay. all I'm saying is Jadakiss and Styles can out rap almost any
May
nigga
said
you know.
Tribe is whack. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't like Tribe either. But I can't deny that they impact. I don't really like Tribe.
You don't like him, but
They
you
not
just gonna put him better
They
than
not
Locks.
whack though.
I never would say Tribe is whack. What I'm saying is I understand their impact.
I'm not saying I don't understand the impact. I'm saying they're not better than the Locks. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm taking Jadakiss, Styles, and Sheik to out
Mobb
rap all
Deep,
the niggas.
look at Gino coming through. Mobb Deep, Outkast, you crazy?
I was getting to Outkast, but I don't have Mobb Deep over the Locks. No, I do not. No, I don't. I don't care if you Mobb Deep, hold triggers to cruise. You little fucks. Let me stop. That wasn't even the Locks. That ain't had nothing to do with the Locks.
Herb is 24 years old, y'all. He's a millennial.
Listen, I'm 34 years old, and whatever.
Their growth starts at 20,
Hey,
stops at 24.
How much EPM do you think I heard in my life?
Every album is a classic.
Okay, I didn't ask you what it was. How much do you think I've heard?
Go back and listen.
Every Starlight's
That brings
album was a
up a
classic.
whole
How much
nother
Starlights do you
conversation.
think Melvin and the Blue Notes was classic? How much of that do you think I heard?
That brings up a whole nother conversation that y'all disrespect of history.
Here goes the millennial bashing, which
You got that right.
Which is a whiffable favorite thing to do.
You got that right.
We love to millennial
You
bash
gotta
here
do
with
your
the
history,
media.
goddamn it.
A
You
bar
can't-
MJG for
Life
sure,
didn't
BT.
start when y'all came, man. It didn't start when y'all got here.
Yeah, I love give me Fat Boy, give me MJG.
Not that. Nah, they don't even get in the conversation.
They not in the conversation. Are
For
you high?
greatest groups of all time?
Yes.
Boy, stop.
They're in my
They
top
do
5.
that.
They're my favorite 5.
Favorite 5 is different than top.
Yeah, I don't rank art like on some tops. I can't speak that way. It's too subjective.
No, I get it, but that's what we do. So if you're gonna have that conversation, you gotta be prepared to back it up with stats.
No, see, stats is bullshit. You gonna tell me who sold the most albums?
I don't fuck with it. I get it. So insane, I'm with that.
Yeah.
But you can't say that's the top. Say I like the best.
I said my favorite 5.
Okay, I'll go with that. Then your favorite 5 is a piece of shit, but it's okay. I'm fine with that.
Locks is definitely the one, Jack.
Yeah,
Locks is
NWA.
the-
Like, let's
the
come
Locks-
on, man.
the
How do you
Locks-
make these arguments?
The Locks, NWA.
You gonna put the Locks
Outkast.
over NWA though, for real? No bullshit.
Yes.
The Locks?
Yes. Now you
And I fuck with the Locks.
Again, you talking about the impact. I'm talking about spitting. Which one
I'm
of them
talking
niggas?
about
Which
you.
one of them niggas?
Which one of them niggas got the best albums?
I just said the Locks.
No. The Locks do not have a better album than no NWA album.
Other than Cube, them niggas can't even rap.
I don't care if he wrote everybody bars. I'm talking about makes complete albums. NWA is that.
You're high, fam. Ball and G. I got the Locks, Ball and G. Not in this order, except that the Locks number 1. The Locks, Ball and G, Outkast, NWA, and UGK. That's how I'm rolling, fam.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless I can count the Hot Boys, because then I just pick the Hot Boys.
The Hot Boys too, huh? They made it to your group too.
If I can pick the Hot Boys, I pick the Hot Boys. I ain't gonna lie
I'm
to
not
you.
even gonna continue this conversation.
That's not a real group.
The Hot Boys.
The Hot Boys. Okay. All right.
I said what I said. They're
You
not a
said
real
what you
group, so
said.
I won't put them in. I won't put them in that conversation. It's not a real group
Woo.
like that. But you know, if I could, I would pick them. Whatever.
So black men had the shortest lifespan than any Americans.
I hate you so much. God, I hate you so much. Anyway,
No, but this is real, man.
May's talking about the Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, you know Mace is from Bolingbrook. But nah, I fucks with Ghetto Boys.
I'm mad playing
But
tricks over.
no, for real. We pulled this video up. We put a few videos up. But I don't know if you remember this a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple days ago. I don't even remember honestly. But we was talking about something and Salim had commented in the.
Salim know hella music too.
Salim knows everything. G, he's the
Facts.
fucking oracle. So, but he had commented in the comments and saying he was like John Henryism, and I was like, yeah, John Henryism. Now I didn't know what the fuck John Henryism was.
Google's John Henryism.
Google's John Henryism, as Salim
What
said.
is John Henryism?
But in the context of what we was talking about, I understood it, but I didn't fully know what it was.
Uh-huh.
So it made me go back and Google and figure out what John Henryism was. And when I came across it, it just fit into the conversation that we was gonna have today.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I want to rock this video out real quick.
All right.
And let everybody else figure out what Celine was talking about, because I know y'all ass ain't know either.
Hold up, bro. We got to take this break.
Okay,
Can
let's take this break.
We'll play the video. As soon as we come back from the break, we will play this video for you. We'll get into the conversation for today. Thank y'all so much for partaking in my favorite five. I'm coming with y'all favorite five. No Limit Soldiers, definitely. West Side Connection, Mac 10 and them.
They not being for real about West Side Connection. They say they on the same limit as Hot Boys. That's what they say.
No, they Herb need an ear enema. I can't stand y'all on the gang. When we come back from break, I'm not even going to be here. This is I said what I said, 2 and 2. He'll be back.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information, or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
WIFTV PM.
It's the skin you're in that matters. You are consciously aware of being a black person in America. Your system responds to that. I was not surprised that the pandemic had the disparate effects that it did on African Americans. I am the originator of John Henryism theory, which posits that repeated hierarchical coping over years, over decades, with very difficult life circumstances can really cause damage to the cardiovascular system and then eventually lead to high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. The John Henryism theory takes its name from the legend of John Henry, the steel driving man.
Some said he was born in Texas, some said he was born in Maine, but I don't give a damn where that poor boy was born. He was a steel driving man. Lord, now he was a steel driving man.
John Henry engaged in an epic battle against a newly invented steam drill, and he beat the machine. But he dropped dead after his victory from complete mental and physical exhaustion. You have today, in 21st century America, so many African Americans who are caught up in a John Henryism situation, who are faced with real adversity, deepening economic hardship, loss of jobs, loss of health insurance, threats to one's sense of personhood, one's sense of dignity. The stress is enormous, and people don't give up. That persistence, working twice as hard, over time can really impair multiple physiological systems. By the time they're in their 20s and 30s and 40s, they're already having things like high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity. Now along comes the pandemic, and they are susceptible because of these underlying conditions, and yet they have to try to make a living. That's the John Henderson situation. It's on display.
Course of a lifetime often leads the black men to age quicker, become sicker, and die younger than the group in America.
Read that again, bro.
Losing our mics. We keep losing our mics. Okay. It says toxic stress over the course of a lifetime often leads black men to age quicker, become sicker, and die younger than nearly any other demographic group in America. I thought that was really interesting. Not the fact that toxic stress, that's not new to me. I make a joke out of the shit like we die at 65. It's not funny, but it's real. You know what I mean?
Very real.
Like you catch a blessing if you get to 65.
Yeah.
But the in-depth part of the John Henryism, the analogy of John Henryism, is that here's a man who was hell-bent on beating this steel breaking machine or whatever they call it. I don't know what the name of the machine is. And he beat the machine, but the minute after he beat the machine, he dropped dead from stress and pressure. You know what I mean? And I think about that a lot because I don't know whose experience that isn't. You know what I mean? Shit, man, when I first got home from school, like you talk about me in regards to design work and stuff like that, and I don't even be bragging or tooting my horn with that shit. Right. But I know I'm dope with that shit. I know I'm doper than the vast majority of people I've ever seen do it.
Facts.
Right? And I remember like interviewing with like design houses this early on in life. You know what I mean? And nobody would give my ass a look. Nobody. Which in turns would push me to kind of do my own thing. Like, fuck y'all. I know I could get some money. I know I'm good.
Yeah. A closed door can be a blessing sometimes.
But yeah, bullshit. It ain't no blessing. But that's how we got to leverage it. You know what I mean? We tend to change the view of shit because we're not offered opportunity.
Right.
You know what I mean? But be clear about this. Not only did I have to know design now I got to learn business. Right. Now I got to learn how to market. Right. Now I got to learn how to sell. Right. Now I got to learn how to pitch. Now I got to immediately. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Or this ain't for you. Right. You know what I mean? So I went to work. I had a little BS management job when I first got home from school, trying to get my foot into this industry. Sure. You know what I mean? Sure. And the shit just was like, it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. It's funny, man. I met these Hispanic cats who was like same peer group as me, doing the same shit I was doing. And I was like watching how fast they was bubbling. I just was like, how is this possible? You know what I mean? And I started building a rapport with them. And I sent them some contracts because I wanted to be a part of what they was doing. You know what I mean? And they just took the contracts. I never heard back. You know what I mean? It was just leveraging me and not getting nothing out the deal. But that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is, here's how I spent all this time to learn this process, to learn this skill set, to learn this trade. And not only did I learn it, but I was very good at it. And the opportunity to leverage it to get ahead in life just wasn't there. You know what I mean? And I remember like my peers starting to, anchor themselves into life. You know what I mean? And I'm riding around in the Cutlass. And that shit was irritating as fuck to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think about that often now, 20 years down the line, and I don't know if the landscape adjusted or I just adjusted to the landscape. You know what I mean? So, I mean, not to say I haven't seen some levels of successes, but I was going hard at that shit like Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just a different kind of approach to life at that point. You know what I mean? I just thought this was a real interesting video, and it's going to lead into the other conversation we're going to have too.
That's a real thing, man. We spend so much of our time constantly grinding, working twice as hard, trying to position ourselves to be able to, change our circumstances and live comfortably. And the unfortunate irony of that is that, all of that work and stress is ultimately shortening your life. So by the time you acquire all of this shit, you ain't going to be able to enjoy it, right? And that's really what the conversation is when I'm talking about the fact that, you know, when we talk about this fight for our liberation and what that looks like and what action steps we must take, death has to be on the table. And obviously, again, that's not everybody's role in this fight, right? But for those amongst us whose role that is, death has to be on the table. And because the fact of the matter is we're already dying, right? And so we're dying slowly anyway. And so this idea of being scared of something that's already happening to you is kind of crazy to me. It's already happening to you. The way you fight in this system right now, the way you are trying to incorporate yourself into that system is killing you. It's killing you physically. It's killing you emotionally. It's killing you mentally. It's killing you financially even, right? But that is what we are constantly trying to get at. And it's like, man, how are we scared of something happening that's already happening? Like, you scared like, oh, this is gonna happen to me. It's already happening to you, right? And we don't really see it because, again, we don't have time to see it. I gotta get my ass up. I gotta go to work. I gotta work hard as hell all day. I gotta come home. I gotta eat. I gotta take care of some kids. I gotta pay some bills. I gotta get some sleep. I gotta do that shit again tomorrow. Like, that's life. That's life for 40 fucking years. And then one of these days I fuck around and drop dead, and they are going to put somebody at my desk tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the reality of the situation.
It's an interesting paradigm, man. I think the better way to go at this is just to kind of like play these videos like in succession.
All right, cool.
So, Flo, we gonna run this other video right now, bro.
How long is that one?
This is like 3 minutes and 56 seconds.
Let's take this break early then. Let's just take this break early. Hit it right at the top of the 4 o'clock hour.
All right.
Flo, we're going to take this break. When we come back from the break, we're going to play these videos in succession so you can kind of get the picture that we are trying to paint for you in this conversation today. This is I Said What I Said, 2 and Herb till 6. We'll be right back.
Where my steppers at?
This is retired State Senator Ricky Hendon. This is my new song, Be My Christmas. It's on my House Party CD, produced by house music icons King Farley. It's available on my website, HollywoodHendon.com, various streaming platforms, and CDs. The album also has songs like We Getting Lit and Rona Money. Get the House Party CD in time for Christmas and New Year's Eve. This is our new song, We Getting Lit. Just in time for New Year's Eve. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Go to HollywoodHendon.com and get my music. Let's bring in 2021. Ricky Hollywood Hendon. Don't forget me, y'all.
This is the king of house music, Farley Jack Master Funk, and I endorse Hollywood Ricky Hendon. Let's go to work.
Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury found that the officer responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we've already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to demand justice. And we will and we must do everything in our power to prevent any more names from being added to this role, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd, and Laquan McDonald, and too many others. I want you to know that I support you and will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video. This case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter is handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Oh my God, this cannot be right. How is this legal?
Because COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place! You got the wrong house! You got the wrong house!
We will and we must continue to say her name.
Ho, ho! I came to bring some Christmas spirit. I got a big bag now, guess what's in it? Something for the rich and something for the poor. So Merry Christmas and
ho, 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 Merry Christmas, my foot. I'm gonna tell you what Santa really put. Yeah, it's the Christmas rap. It's your man, Maze Jackson. To everybody, Chicago, what's in it for the Black People Media wishes you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
WIFTBPM.
What's happening, family? We are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb, alongside Toussaint Warner. Each and every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m., we get together right here with you all on the network to talk about black issues. We appreciate y'all so very, very much for being a part of the conversation. Thank y'all for choosing to hang out with us yet again on this Thursday afternoon. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube as well. We see you, and we certainly appreciate you. Happy holidays to all of you. Shout out to my brother Flo doing the hard work behind the glass in the production studio. Flo, what's the word, my brother?
Man, another day, another dollar, bro. How you doing?
Ain't nothing to it, man. Ain't nothing to it, man. Appreciate you and all of your hard work per usual. Wow. Started the conversation off just talking, and then kind of went down this road about some top 5 things. But then we got into the bit of the conversation, looking at the video of the John Henryism and what that actually looks like, and how we all have experienced it. And a lot of people in the comments were sharing their personal experiences with dealing with the fact that we work so hard to get these things, and then those very same things are at least the work to get to those things is killing us, right? The stress that we have to endure is killing you. There are physiological issues with that naturally come from our lifestyles and the circumstances that we find ourselves in. And I think that has to be a part of the equation when we talk about how we go about combating this thing, or what we choose to combat and what we choose to accept, because that is a reality that we deal with.
Yeah, but it's compounded, man. It's compounded into a philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's a philosophy that we carry as well. It's hard to look at the lexicon and say the lexicon is fucked up. Mm-hmm. We usually respond to it and say, I'm fucked up, right? Why haven't I met the goal? Why haven't I found out how to work harder or smarter and efficiently enough to get to XYZ goal? Sure. But not giving the system its just credit that you are not here for the goal.
Nah.
It's not for you.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So it's very interesting paradigm, and it's almost like
it's a natural thing to feel inadequate.
Recondition your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You really do. And I could see that, my old man used to have a saying that, black males go through 2 midlife crises, one at 18 and one at 40. Mm-hmm. And I've been at 18 and I've been at 40. Mm-hmm. And when I look at my peer group, I see it happening. And I know why now. When he was saying it before, I used to think it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But 18, life starts to transition. And people with a little bit of opportunity and a little bit of hope try to fulfill that little bit of opportunity and a little bit of hope. Mm-hmm. But there's a whole nother group that knows this shit is over already.
Yeah.
And you can see the drop off.
The game just starting,
the game just starting, and I already recognize I ain't got a place in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then at 40, when you should be kind of on autopilot and settled in, we recognize and we're really just getting to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And some people can't handle the weight of that. And I've seen that happen like in real time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to hear, like, even when, like I said, Salim said the shit, I went and looked it up because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But it just had an impact on me when I saw it.
Yeah.
But I want to roll that into this other video.
Cool.
And this one has kind of been like the talk of the town for the last couple of days because this brother found himself on Ayan Levanzant. But this is a video that went viral that he made a few years back. Can we go to it, or we got?
Yeah, no, we solid.
Okay.
Go ahead and play it.
Let's go.
I might have sent you off.
Okay, you sent me off.
Flo.
Yeah, so they got their own thing going today, huh?
Yeah, see, soon as you and Hick Boosie like y'all ask Flo how you doing, y'all tell Lil Ron don't talk. I'm gonna fight y'all.
Yeah, as soon as we be nice, we have to get Flo a lot.
Soon as we give him Flo his flowers for doing a good job, he leave us all alone and we can't play the video. Can we get some sound to this device, please, sir? Thank you, man. You know we don't want much.
I'm gonna say, but Christmas, I pay. You know, I've always.
But Daddy,
my kids ain't never
I need to hear that first
I've
part
always
again.
paid
You
that
said
shit.
you've been married to your wife 18 years and she ain't never paid what?
I've been married to my wife for 18 years, going on 19 years.
Blueprint,
My wife has
fellas.
never paid a mortgage payment. She's never paid a gas bill, electric bill. She's never paid a cable bill. She's never had to pay insurance for her cars. I pay for all that, but that's what a fucking man does for his family. I'm not on no pedestal behind it, but that's what a man does. A man takes care of his family. My wife shouldn't have to worry about a goddamn mortgage payment. She doesn't have to worry about the lights being on, gas being on, food in the motherfucking refrigerator. She don't pay for food. She don't pay for none of that. That's my motherfucking job. Understand me? You don't have to be on a pedestal to do that shit. That's what a man do, and a man don't brag about that shit. I'm not bragging at all, but that's what a fucking man does. A man that got 8 children and 12 grandchildren.
Say it again.
Okay. And I've never been under one child support order in my life.
And you take care of all of them. You do for all
And I
of
do
them.
for all my kids. Whenever they need me, all they gotta do is call their daddy, and I'm right there. So if you meet a motherfucking nigga that can't treat you the way your father treats you, you don't need that motherfucker.
Oh! Mouthful
Hello,
said.
good fucking bop.
Mouthful said, goddammit.
Okay.
Mouthful said.
Say that shit, MG.
Mouthful said.
Say that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Why you
I
need a
know
motherfucker?
that go
Why you need a motherfucker that can't do for you, can't do more for you than your own father? I set the fucking standard.
That's right. Amen.
And if a nigga can't do more than what your father do for you, you don't fucking need him. Why you get a man that can't do? If my dad can do that shit, nigga, I don't need you.
That's what I tell my
Fuck
girls. If I
that.
can
Your
do
father
it,
set the
you need
standard,
that motherfucker.
and a lot of
You
niggas set the standard so fucking low, they fuck their girls up. You set that standard that low, that fucks your girls up. Cause then they go out there and go for any shit. You gotta set that standard fucking high, right here. So she'll be like, I don't want a nigga that's not gonna treat me as good as my father. I can call my dad, and I don't give a fuck where. I could be on the goddamn moon. Dad, I'm on my motherfucking way.
That's right.
And y'all know that.
Amen.
Y'all can be anywhere on this on God's green earth. As long as I'm above goddamn ground. You call me and say, Daddy, help me. Motherfucker, before you drop the goddamn phone, I'm standing right there. What you need, baby?
That's a damn
I'm
man.
like, this is why I love my fucking father.
Y'all
That's
got
what
the
that shit
best
about.
father in the world.
That's what that shit about.
I'm trying to
And I'm gonna tell you again, it's not about being on the fucking pedestal. It's not about being on the pedestal.
You gonna keep
It's
saying the
about
same shit over and over,
somebody
pretty
telling
much.
you
We
how
can turn
good
this
you
shit
are.
off right now.
People keep saying the same thing over and over when they drunk. I ain't saying he's wrong about it, nothing that he was saying per se, but he's had him a few.
So I'm not gonna say there is a right or wrong, right? But I think it's just interesting. I think there's so many nuances playing out in this conversation, right? Now this video was launched, so this one says 2019, but if I remember correct, this shit really actually went up maybe a little bit longer than that.
Okay.
You know, but you hear the people in the background. I'm looking at the pictures now of the people, seeing the pictures of the people, and they're his daughters and his mama, right? Which I didn't even recognize earlier because I was watching on my phone, so I didn't see it in the same light. But then, a year or two later, he's writing to Ayanna Van Zant.
Yeah, you heard the daughter in the background say, "That's why I love my daddy."
That's why I love my daddy. Oh, my daddy, the shit, right? So
That's what's up.
I'm listening to that, and then I double back and I see this. He's on Ayanna Van Zant talking about, "Please help fix my life."
Oh, his life ain't good?
Obviously, his life is not right.
I thought she was on point for my man. He taking care of everybody. Wife ain't paid a bill 18 years. Daughter got everything she need. He on the call. He on the beck and call at any given moment. Everything should be good. They should be loving him the way he loves them back, right? Like they all championing his speech and saying, go, 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 go. What's wrong with his? How could his shit not be well?
So let's go to Ayanna.
Oh, he dead ass on Ayanna, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to play this one.
All right.
After this ad.
Run it.
Run it.
When a family airs their dirty laundry in public.
I've been married to my wife for 18 years going on 19 years. My wife has never paid a mortgage payment. She's never paid a gas bill, electric bill, but that's what a man does.
My husband was like, I got, 1 million views, but it was uncomfortable to watch just because of the comments people wrote. First of all, they don't really know us. To the world, it was just like, oh, this perfect father. Well, y'all don't know the real him. He's arrogant, he's rude. Like, when he get mad, he throws stuff in your face.
You have kids out here that would love to be in my children's shoes.
Financially, he's always been there, but sometimes I feel like he should pick up the phone and call me just to see how I'm doing.
He pays the bills, he makes sure I have a roof over my head, but it's not like I have a connection with my dad.
This is a story of a father who was accused of airing the laundry of his mind, and in this family, there is a particularly volatile relationship with issues that are common to many black men, and that's the relationship between a father and his son.
Respect to my father. It's not like I lost it because it really hasn't been that strong in the first place. 6th grade after we got into the fight, that's the first fight of 3.
They could fight each other to the point that they could kill each other.
For that part of the work, I've invited my colleague and friend, Dr. Steve Perry, to share his mastery of working with men and boys.
You said you're coachable, right? Yes. So if you're coaching your father, he will be getting benched by now.
That relationship is just one of the many issues that needs to be washed and rinsed.
So we're going to go through this one throughout the duration of this show.
Cool.
All right, so I just wanted the intro set up a plot line of
Yeah.
how fucked up shit is.
That's
What's the line in the movie with the when they robbed the bank, the brothers, the dude from I can't think of the name, but anyway, the dude was like, shit is more fucked up than ever. Right? So it's just interesting to hear this video that he goes viral on, and these same characters. You saw them people in there like, I don't got no connection with my daddy.
Right.
But in the viral video,
Love my daddy.
Oh, I love my daddy. That's why you the shit, daddy.
Shit.
Right?
Shit.
And I think there's a lot of nuance goes into the conversation, because the very narrative is that, Beulah's saying it right way. It's right here, right? She said people want it both ways. 8 kids, he's probably working all the time. No emotional connection.
All the time. That dude can't be here.
Right? Absolutely.
Not if he paying for everybody's everything.
But
and y'all want him paying for everybody's everything.
But these are the conversations.
But you also want a hug.
This is the conversations we often have, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is that transactional behavior that we always adapt to, just the male value asset. Like, you a check, my nigga. That's what you are. And I'm not knocking that. I don't even want to shit completely on dude. Like, I get it, because that's what we've been kind of reared to and conditioned to be.
You can tell that what he was in the speech that went viral, you can tell that he was passionate about it. He was prideful about it. He thought that was the absolute right thing to be doing. As long as I'm paying every motherfucking thing, I ain't got to be around for no hugs. Now, if you call me, I'll show up. But if you ain't really called me to say show up, I probably ain't there. No, I ain't at your cheerleading competition. I ain't at your football game. I ain't at none of that shit. And probably because I've been working 14, 15, 16 hours all day. When I come in this motherfucker and you ain't took the trash out, I just might punch your ass in the motherfucking chest, right? And as soon as you feel better, if you want to fight me, nigga, I pay for everything in the sense I will beat your little ass in here, right? So again, not right. I can easily see how that thing happens though, right? And while we are reaping the benefits of the fact that he's covering everything for everybody, it's all good. But then you can't come back 15 years later, 5 years later and say, oh, I don't know him, we don't got a relationship. Your relationship was the bread. That's what you was valuing him for, right? All right, then.
So Nicole says, I saw this episode and I felt bad for the dad a little bit. To work that hard and your family isn't pleased with who you are as a dad or a husband had to be heartbreaking, right? And I'm looking at it from every vantage point, right? I'm looking at it from the lack of the relationship with the children. I'm looking at it from the strained relationship with his wife. And I also looked at it with his relationship with his own upbringing, his own life experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was a very interesting paradigm, because it kind of exposes so many nuanced conversations that we really need to be having in our community.
It does.
Right?
It does.
We talked about reparations the other day, and I said that shit is just really a Band-Aid for us to heal the real traumas in our lives.
It's a real spell.
Right? So if you juxtapose this one family to the modicum of black families in America, let's say daddy looked like reparations because they was okay. You know what I mean? And they all admitted to like, yeah, he cuts the check all the time. But even with the check, we fucked up, right? We have these strained relationships, and we're going to go through more of the video.
Yeah.
And you're going to see these things get exposed. But they are like traumas that went on within that family that are like extreme in my mind.
Yeah.
That he had no clue about.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Because he's out chasing the bag.
Because he's chased the bag.
Relentlessly.
And it's not just chasing the bag. That's how he defined himself, by the bag.
Right. So the rest of this shit ain't even.
The rest of this shit ain't even on
it ain't
my
my
radar.
purview. Right.
It ain't even on my radar.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
As long as I do X, Y, Z, I've met my fulfillment.
Y'all should be able to handle everything else. Ain't nobody got to cover a bill or ain't nobody missing a meal around here. Y'all should be able to cover everything else.
Do y'all shit. Get this shit together. And at some levels, if that's the perspective in which you
if
going
everybody's
into
agreeing
it,
to this shit,
I get it.
Then that should be your area.
I fully get it.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we will dive deeper into that video. We want to know your thoughts about this thing too. How do we get into such a dynamic? Is it a good thing? Does it work? Does it not work? And if it does not work, who is then at fault? Is everybody complicit for playing their role in it when things were good and then starting to point the finger when things are not so good? Want to know what y'all think. Give y'all comments. We'll read through them on the other side of this break. This is I Said What I Said. We'll be right back.
This is retired State Senator Ricky Hendon. This is my new song, Be My Christmas. It's on my House Party CD, produced by house music icon King Farley. It's available on my website, HollywoodHendon.com. And this is our new song, We Getting Lit. The album also has songs like Rona Money. Get the House Party CD in time for Christmas and New Year's Eve.
This is the king of house music, Farley Jack Master Funk, and I endorse Hollywood Ricky Hendon. Let's go to work.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Chicago's Power Hour. I'm your host, Angie Mims, and
Terrence Keys,
TD, a.k.a. Terrence Daniels.
I wish I had one witness in the house.
You got one.
Got a couple of them. Got a couple
T's. Two T's.
Give me a testimony.
Oh, Lord. He's did it before. Oh, Lord.
I got one.
Something
better. I got 5 reasons.
5 reasons. Oh, Lord. He turned it around.
Turn it around. He woke me up this morning.
Oh. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Go
Number
ahead.
4.
He woke me up this morning.
Come on, number 3. Come.
He woke me up.
Oh, Lord.
He woke you up.
That thing could touch you.
I'm
One
telling
of
you.
them 5s will get you. What's the second one?
He woke me up this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
And the number 1 reason.
Number 1. Final answer.
He woke me up this morning.
He woke me up this morning.
That's a testimony.
That's a testimony.
WIFTBPM.
Peace to the Is family. We appreciate y'all for being here on this, what's today? Wednesday? On this Wednesday edition of I Said What I Said. My name is Herb, alongside Toussaint. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to the conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is appreciated. Definitely want to know what you guys are feeling about the conversation today. We just got done watching the video in which your brother initially was proudly proclaiming that he has covered every single bill for his family for the last 18 years. His wife has never paid a mortgage payment. She's never paid a gas bill or any other bill. He covers all the food and everything else for the house, for the wife, for the children. He's always there for them financially, and if they need him, they can call him and he will show up. He then found himself just a few years later on Iyanla Fix My Life because his family dynamic was in shambles. Although he had been providing the money for everybody, the personal relationships were not there. There was no investment of time into the people that were in his immediate family. There's only so many hours in the day. There was no time for that, right? So while everybody was championing the fact that he was paying for these bills, nobody was complaining that he was not there. But ultimately, that becomes a problem, and then you end up on Iyanla saying, I don't like my daddy, that I was just screaming and claiming like, oh, I love my daddy. So
people in the comments, some are jumping ahead in the conversation, and some are really dissecting the actual real story of this specific guy and this specific family. But I kind of don't want to do that. I don't want to discuss this specific guy and this specific family.
Hell no, this ain't a one-off.
Right, this is not a one-off, right? This is the cultural expectation, right?
This is what everybody expects. Even the people who don't have it, I want a man to pay all the damn bills in here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And be clear about this too. The vast majority of men want to be in the position to do those things.
Yes.
I don't really know too many men who just come to the table like,
be like,
hey, I
can't
can't wait to be ain't shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you are defined by doing these things, right? So I just want to, take this piece by piece, though. I'm not trying to eat the whole cookie. We're going to take it piece by piece.
All right, well, let's come on with the next piece.
All right, so this is the next little segment that I thought was interesting.
Practice. I want to show Mr. Mark what he must practice in order to claim his throne. You've been acting like that's yours, but not doing the things responsible and required to get there. So our goal in our work is to get you there. I want you to be real clear about what's required to get there. How are you doing there? Well, that's what we're gonna talk about.
Yes, ma'am.
Because so many men want to get there. So many men think they are there. That ain't how they behave. Because you see the steps required along the way. And the other thing is, most men haven't even been taught what the walk is about. What about you?
No, I don't think I have. Coming up, not having that father figure in the household, I've always felt that I had to be the protector. It was just about making sure that my mother wasn't being taken advantage of or abused.
So you spell man protector. That ain't on there. Because if you're gonna be the man and the king of the household, then you have to demonstrate royal qualities and characteristics.
So, Iyanla say, you ain't gotta be a protector as a man. Somebody said, this nigga got a throne in his house. That ain't his house, man. That's all made for TV shit, y'all. Be cool. Right? But I kind of disagree. I totally disagree with Iyanla there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she put together all these other qualities that she deemed that he needed to have to be the leader of said family.
Right.
Qualities that I, acknowledge as valuable. Honorable, honest, integrity. You know what I mean? Vulnerable. There's a whole bunch of them that was on there that was listed. And I thought about that in the context of all the conversations we have in here, because every Friday we have a Relationship Friday conversation. And one of the questions that we usually ask the sisters is, what are the top 3 things or top 10, whatever have we bring the question out with the people that we talk to, what do you value in a man? How many of them things you seen being listed out of them conversations we had?
The list that Iyanla came up with? No, I haven't seen those things. Not in the top 3. Not when we ask what your criteria is when you're looking for a partner. It's what they look like, how much bread they got, that type of thing.
Again, that's why we can't dissect this as a one-off. That's why this can't be dissected as this problem. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think it plays again it's so many nuanced conversations taking place in this one little show here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like from the man's vantage point, I've achieved manhood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing what the lexicon says
Right.
makes me a man.
Right.
Right. I got that bread, whatever bread he got, right? Because they ain't like Ohio or some shit. And that matters because the social context matters, right? I don't know what the fuck Ohio produces, but let's say there's a good factory job there. He could probably take care of a family of 8 if he's a manager. You know what I mean? Not to shit on dude, and I'm not trying to shit on dude, but the social standings or the economies of Ohio not really comparable to, let's say, a Los Angeles or Chicago or New York. It's a different kind of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you can probably afford larger families. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but in his mind, he's done the things that essentially put him in the position to be deemed as the man of the house, the king of the house. That's why they got the throne in there as a prop. You know what I mean? But he comes to the Ayanna show and she said, well, no, none of that shit matters. This is the shit that matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And again, not shitting on Ayanna's belief system because I think all of that shit matters. Right? But I think it's unfair to judge him when he's legitimately just falling into what the social criteria says is the standard.
Right, but I mean, at some point you got to be broken from that thing, right? And so if Iyanla is just saying to him, like, "Yo, I like at least I hope she's saying, like, I know what you think, right? I understand why you think this is the way to go. Let me show you why this is not the way to go. Let me show you how you ended up in all of this turmoil, even though you've been covering everything for everybody since the beginning of this damn family, right? Let me show you why that is not a sustainable, workable model for a healthy family dynamics, right? It's cool to pay everything. It's cool that your wife ain't had to pay a bill in 18 years. Awesome, right? But now you don't know your shorties. Now you don't fuck with your wife. She don't fuck with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the real problem. And that's where all that other stuff comes in.
But again, see, part of my problem with the conversation that even Ayanna's having, right? At least the way it works out, it starts out is that it puts the responsibility on him.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you fucking up. This is why you're messing up, right?
She's right, though.
So that's perspective. That's your perspective, right? Not necessarily my perspective, right? And I'm saying I said two sides align himself with this and that. I'm saying that the social norm says this is what makes you valuable.
I agree, 100%.
Right? And if you ask 9 or 10 people, 9 people will define masculinity and manhood by these standards. And here's what he's doing.
Provide and protect.
Meeting these standards. Even in regard, I told you earlier that the girls in the family had all been sexually abused. Right? He didn't know nothing about that shit until they on this TV show.
Oh, wow.
But the reason he didn't know nothing about that shit until they was on this TV show is because the girls were so afraid to tell him because they were in fear that he would kill that motherfucker.
Protector.
Which in my mind
is a protector.
I would have too.
I'm providing and protecting.
I would have killed that motherfucker. Whoever said person is.
Killed.
Out of there.
Period.
You know what I mean? So that was, again, all the qualifiers. Provider and protector. They're sure he's going to show up in these polarities. Right? They're sure he's going to show up in these polarities. But then all of the shit that they have backlash about is because he's showing up only in those polarities.
Yeah.
Right? But to be, going back to John Henryism, right? This man got 8 children. He's a black man with black children. Right? How hard you think this motherfucker working to sustain a family of 10 people?
Right.
Yes, like,
right.
What the fuck do you want from me, man?
Yeah. I want you to still come home. I want you to still be compassionate. I want you to still be loving. I don't want you to be so harsh. Like, nah, hell no. I'm covering every single thing. I'm out here busting my ass. I'm not finna come home to anything less than whatever it is I expect. I don't know how outrageous my expectations may be, but I know how outrageous your expectations are, that I'm supposed to cover everything for 10 motherfuckers. That's an outrageous expectation. So my expectations may also be outrageous. I'm not coming home to a motherfucking dish or a motherfucking trash bag or a motherfucking unmade bed or none of that goofy shit. And I'm pissed off when I see it. Because you're going to be pissed off when ain't no motherfucking food in that refrigerator. You're going to be pissed off when these lights go out, right? If I'm doing all of that on my own, all of the rest of that shit, that's on y'all. And I'm saying, I'm that's not right? And that's what I'm saying. He was wrong for going down that path. They was wrong for wanting him to be on that path, right? He was doing what his family wanted. They was benefiting from it. It was wrong on both sides. I'm saying for him, he should have looked up at some point like, you know what? I don't even see these little motherfuckers, right? Yeah, I provide for them. Yeah, they all got on new this, new that. They got all the latest gadgets and all that shit. But I don't even know these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I'm not willing to make that sacrifice, right? And so if I got to come home and be like, yep, hey, y'all, next year, 2 we finna downsize this motherfucking crib, or something finna change, you finna start going to a motherfucking public school, or you finna start, like, something's finna happen because I don't even know y'all. All I do is pay for y'all last. And that ain't healthy either. So
that's 8 kids, and that's in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I'd argue you live in that same life in Chicago with 2 children.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I'd imagine that's real. The cost of living is different. I would say,
I'm going to read Lucretia's comment.
I would say the cost of living is 4 times higher in Chicago than it is somewhere in Ohio.
Lucretia said his family said they never wanted that, right? And this is what I want to get away from.
Lucretia, we just watched the video. They all went ape shit crazy when he was saying that he does it. We just watched the video. They all went ape shit crazy. They was all championing it. Yeah, that's why I love my dad. That's a real man. That's a mouthful right there. Preach the mama, this the grandma, this all the kids. We all just watched the video. They was going crazy about it. They did want it.
But even outside of that, again, what we can't get away from is that this is the goddamn social narrative. It don't matter what his family said.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to get us to see.
Mm-hmm.
This is the overlooming definition of valuable masculinity in the context of American society. You could replace him with 35 other men just walking down the block. Period. Period. So I don't want us to keep harping on this dude that. This dude did. This dude did. This family did. Because that's why I said this is a nuanced conversation.
Right.
It's a lot of undertones that's taking place in this one conversation around the context of this family. You know what I mean? So, like, again, we're going to play this little segments from the video, and then we could, I guess the last hour probably we really dive deep into the depths of the conversation, at least from my perspective.
Cool beans.
So I want to play this
Let's
other
hop into the next clip.
Mark on some listening tools, I'm going to work with the Queen of the Kingdom.
Need to send money internationally?
Y'all got to
download
deal
the
with it.
Western
You
Union
got to go
app.
through this with us.
Available 24/7.
Kingdom, Miss Jamil.
Jamil.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, you got some dirty laundry.
I just had a long conversation with Mr. Mark, and I met the thug.
Now, this is his
I'm
wife.
wondering if that's who you live with. And I met the
Ayanna didn't call the man a
boy.
thug.
I'm wondering if that's who you live with. And I met the gentle, loving spirit that would drink your dirty bath water if you asked him to.
Also, he just
So
confessed in the
I
other
wanna
clip that we
know
fast
if
forwarded
that's
that
who
he
you
loved
live
the shit out of his wife.
I live with all 3 of them.
Of course he does,
And I
clearly.
think it took me 5 to 7 years to realize that the nice guy is there. But the thug part, he's showed up a little bit more than I realized.
Well, do you and him have a love story?
I wouldn't say a love story. We went on a date.
A date.
Or 2.
And then?
And then we just hung out and had a whole lot of sex and things like that. And then found out I was pregnant. And we had a discussion about whether or not I was going to keep the baby. And I was like, well, terminating is not an option. He's like, well, me being a baby daddy is not an option. So we got to get married. So I was like, okay, so maybe this is what's supposed to happen. And we got married.
Did you love him?
I think at some point after the marriage, I fell in love.
Some point after.
Tell me about the video, the airing of the family laundry. Tell me about that.
The man takes care of his family. My wife shouldn't have to worry about a goddamn mortgage payment. She doesn't have to worry about the lights being on, gas being on, food in the refrigerator. She don't pay for food. She don't pay for none of that. That's my job.
And, you know, when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is something that Mark would say. It's nothing out of pocket.
And that's when he was saying he takes care of you and he provides. Okay.
And then it went viral and he's so excited.
Why?
He felt validated, like people believe that what I'm doing is right. And I'm like, okay, cool. And reading through the comments got to be a little bit too much. People like, oh, well, she must be this or she must be that, because he didn't really say what I did. But I've been a public school educator for 16 years. I'm now an assistant principal. So I wound up deactivating my social media for a while.
But that's what happens when you air your dirty laundry in public.
Right.
I was just speaking my truth. I hear you. I saw a
I
man
was trying to
teaching.
get to another point. I'm going to try to fast forward it a little bit to back when they're communicating with the wife. That's what I want to get to right there.
So tell me, let's break this down. Jordan.
God damn.
Hey, it's the holiday sale at Buddy Ross, and for a limited time.
I love how you have pitch you be getting at the smallest shit and be funny.
What's happening? Yeah. Why we?
Yes. Okay. The prince pushed the king.
Yes.
What is the nature of the relationship that the prince would even think that that's appropriate?
Everything in our house is transactional. There's love underneath of it all, but as far as our day-to-day interactions with each other, I think everything's transactional.
So you do this, I give you this.
And if you don't do what I say, then I withhold. Or I do for you, and because I do for you, I expect you to do this, this, and this. And then when my expectations aren't met, then the thug yelling and all of that comes out.
I feel like I'm failing my youngest son. Because every time I put...
Again, because the wife is very interesting to me.
I have expressed my disappointment in the relationship, like when it started going real bad.
What does that mean when it started going real bad?
We've had a situation where my trust in him was broken.
What was that?
He attacked me and choked me one night. And
he attacked you and choked you. How long ago was this?
12 years.
12 years ago, and you're still holding on to that.
I think that's where the breakdown started. I'm tired of feeling like I have to fight for everything.
Do you want a divorce?
I don't want it like this anymore.
What does that mean?
I can't be married like this anymore.
So here's the question. Are you open to the possibility that your marriage can be healed?
I'm open.
Okay. Is that what you desire?
I really don't know.
Your father wrote me out of his concern for healing.
There's too much editing going on. I wanted to get to a specific statement.
The changes that he's made, and it seems like it's never enough.
For?
Me.
Why?
I don't know, and I think that's where I'm sort
Because you're dealing with him transactionally and not with your heart. Now, if it doesn't feel safe to give him your heart, then you gotta check yourself, because why you living with, sleeping with, and taking the money from a man who you won't give your heart to, that makes you a hoe.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Sounds like you, too.
It's a conversation we've had several.
That sounds like Iyanla talking like Toussaint Warner to me. She said you live in the transaction. Everything is transactional. If you live and you taking all the money and it ain't about your heart, it's just about his money, that makes you a hoe.
He's controlling and using his money as a tool for control. So, see, this is why I mean it's a nuanced conversation for me, right? Because when I hear the wife speak, you know what I hear? She's the pimp. That's what I hear, right? And as you get deeper into the conversation, I think I said this a few days ago about a daughter and a father's relationship and a son and a father's relationship. As you get deeper into the depths of this story, you hear that the son and him had physical altercations, right? And I think that resonates very differently to me too. I think there's been a paradigm that he's not worthy of respect. And he speaks to it later on in the conversation.
Yeah, man.
And that son's lack of respect shows up differently than a daughter's lack of respect or her desire to be next to her dad. Right? But again, it's the nuances of this conversation. Just from reading Lucretia's comment, you can see, at least I see this very differently. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm off. You know what I mean? I just explained it to Lucretia to your comments you just left. You know what I mean? Iyanla just explained it. I don't know what you missed. Right? Because if you're laying up and being with the... First of all, she said he attacked me 12 years ago.
Right.
Now, let me say this too, just for clarity's sake. I'm not supporting that happening in no situation, but I'm also very aware how human interaction happens over time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that happened 12 years ago, and Iyanla said, you still holding on to that? And she said, well, that's when it started. Right? If you still let 12 years later, this is what I said about the black experience in regards to the man experience, right? Or not just in regards to I said the black experience in regards to America. At what point do you stop becoming a victim and start becoming a volunteer? If this man choked you out and you ain't with that shit, and I'm not saying you should be with that shit, be clear, because I know how these conversations get convoluted. But if you stay for 12 years later and you still mad at that shit, you would not victimize, shorty, you volunteer. If that shit is, either you got to let it go or go. That's your options, right? So Iyanla says, hey, man, what the fuck you talking about? You the one who's transactional. Why are you staying? If you're staying for the money,
you a hoe.
You're a hoe. And we got to be honest about that. That's Iyanla's statement.
Shannon said, oh, Lord, too, been saying that ever since Relationship Friday started.
Yeah. And it
hit different when Iyanla said it. It's softer.
It's she's a woman.
Yeah.
That's why it hits different.
Yeah. Nah, man, listen, you like you sign up to be a part of this transactional thing. And she said from jump, I didn't love that nigga. At some point after the marriage, I fell in love with him, right?
I found comfort in this.
Yeah, this thing works for me.
Sort of like the black experience in America. You cannot revolt against that in which you love.
Yeah, this thing works for me. But then I look up 20 years later and it's like, nah, yo, like this 12 years of wife.
I saw that a bunch of times.
God, that's funny.
But it's some real shit.
It is some
real
shit.
But I also even want us to see how this shit, just from a editing perspective, from a show presentation perspective, I realize it's on the OWN network. It's being played out as if everyone else is the victim of his bad choices and behaviors.
But that's what I like about Iyanla. She don't let motherfuckers do that. I haven't seen this episode. I haven't watched
about the whole how this shit is even edited plays out to say, look how fucked up this guy is.
Oh yeah, that fits the narrative. That gets people to watch, right? It's provocative. It gets the people going, right? So, but I'm saying Iyanla, what I respect about her is she's going to get to the root of the issue, and she ain't holding no punches on nobody. She ain't letting nobody get away with
Ready Rock
bullshit.
asked, why didn't he leave her? So I advise all y'all to check it out, right? So in the beginning, they asked him about how he feels about his wife, and he was like, man, I love the shit out of my wife.
Right.
My wife is this. His response versus her response are on the opposite sides of the spectrum.
Again, as their dynamic was set up, fucked up as it was, as their dynamic was set up, he was meeting all of his obligations. So he don't really know this shit is fucked up for real. Like I'm going to work all day. I'm bringing the money back. I'm paying for everything in the crib. Everybody's taken care of. I'm thinking I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I don't even know there's an issue here until all of a sudden I look up like, wait, what my daughter just say to me? Wait, what my son just say to me? Who disrespected me in this house? And that's like, hold on, I don't even know these motherfuckers, right? But that kind of just blindsides you as you just going about the day-to-day of holding up your end of this fucked up bargain. He didn't know. I don't even think he knew shit was, I don't even think he knew shit. That's why Iyanla said, the father is the one who wrote me the letter and said, come help me fix my life. Come help me get this shit back in order. Because he didn't even know that shit wasn't in order.
So be clear. I'm not saying I see Beulah's comment saying she holds women accountable all the time. One, I don't watch Iyanla like that. This story just intrigued me. But I'm not saying she's not holding her accountable. We ain't even got to the end of the shit. We taking this piece by piece, right? But at the same time, I'm saying how the narrative is being shaped, right?
He absolutely is a volunteer as well.
Yeah, and I never denied that as well. And I'm not even saying just in regards to just the wife's conversation with the dude, right? Even the son is the victim of this bullshit. Like nobody's a participant except the daddy. Right. The daddy's the only participant. But what I'm saying is the social narrative has shaped the daddy.
Yeah.
Right? And we all aspire to the social narrative.
All of us
and I'm saying this shit because every time we do a Relationship Friday, and this ain't even really the crux of what we doing here, because this is bigger than a relationship conversation to me. Right? I'm shaping the story to where this even shit, you could juxtapose this shit with the black experience in America.
Right.
It's bigger than just the social narratives. Right? So here's this, and we every Friday, and what I meant to say is in that Relationship Friday conversations that we have, if we get guests on, we say, hey, what do you?
Right.
I remember the last one we had the two sisters on, and I said, they're like, what are the shit you like or whatever. And I didn't mention sex. They stopped the motherfucking conversation and said, yeah, what about sex too? Whatever. You know what I mean?
Because that's important.
Because that's part of the negotiation. I ain't saying it's not important.
Yeah.
right? But all the
even
shit,
his wife said it. She said we got together, we was hanging out, we had a
had
lot of sex.
But it's all part of her same socialization. When Iyanla lays out the steps to what's going to make him the king of this castle, protection, provision, sex, none of that shit was in there.
Right.
None of that shit was in there.
Right.
It was integrity, it was vulnerability, and shit like that.
Right.
And none of that shit rolls off our tongue when we say what we looking for. And we don't really value none of that shit. We don't. We lying to ourselves saying we do. What we value is security. And what the fuck does security look like? It looks like this nigga right here. So yeah, I wasn't really happy when we first got married, but shit, I was secure. This nigga could cover it. I was secure. I learned to love him. Because love wasn't at the top of it wasn't that high on my totem pole of interest, of importance.
Yeah.
Security was highest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And again, this is a nuanced conversation.
Always. We got to take a break, man. When we come back, we'll play some more clips from that episode. We'll dive deeper into this conversation. Shout out to Brandon. Brandon said I'm at the barbershop with my phone connected to the Bluetooth. All the fellas in the barbershop going ape shit over the conversation. Shout out to everybody in the barbershop, brothers. We appreciate y'all.
Salute to the barbershop.
Matter of fact, where y'all at? I need
where y'all at? Herb trying to get to the barbershop right now. As soon as I leave here, I'm going.
Two was just on the phone with his barber making an appointment for after this show. I need something. Brandon, where y'all at, man? I might pull up for a fade. Dead ass. Anyway, we got to take a break. When we come back, I might get a fade. We're going to definitely hop back into this conversation. Herb and 2 till 6. We will be right back.
Hey family, this is Dawn Millhouse from the Book of Dawn. Christmas and holiday time means giving to me. Make certain that you give of yourself to somebody else. This is Dawn. Happy holidays from the Book of Dawn.
WIFTBPM.
Doc said that ain't paranoia, that's anxiety. Either way, I can feel when people watching me. I don't know if it's the women or if it's the clothes. When I walk inside the room, these haters get exposed. I hit my dance on a hater, they don't like that. I've been grinding for a minute, fell into a bag. Had to sacrifice a lot to pop a couple tags. I done sacrificed a lot to pop a couple tags. Yeah, post-traumatic, ready for all the static. For the bread, I become addict. I jump in the trap like a rabbit. Pardon the cliche, but dummies ain't getting it these days. I'm leaving them all with the freeze face. Like, what did he really just tell me? Every other month I want 100 grand. Said he's spinning like a ceiling fan. Habits you can never understand. Lost pops, I became the man. Had no choice, I had to represent. Life took him by his right hand. Haven't trusted nobody ever since. Doubt that I can ever trust again. Doc said that ain't paranoia, that's anxiety. Either way, I can feel when people watching me. I don't know if it's the women or if it's the clothes. When I walk inside the room, these haters get exposed. I hit my dance on these haters, they don't like that. I've been grinding for a minute, fell into a bag. Had to sacrifice a lot to pop a couple tags. I done sacrificed a lot to pop a couple tags. Deeper than rap shit, the drama becoming so rapid. Try not to panic, I'm different, I'm able to manage. Smoke, I don't lean sip. When I said it go, man, I can't miss. Never see me not focused. Third eye been open. Safe to say I got my ish together. If it ever happened, then it's going down. Coming coach, but I don't play around. Got some issues and you know it now. Steady loading up the mind now. And I can leave my daughter, she the only child. Said the crazy tend to go around. I've been diagnosed for months now. Doc said that ain't paranoia, that's anxiety. Either way, I can feel when people watching me. I don't know if it's the women or if it's the clothes. When I walk inside the room, these haters get exposed. I hit my dance on these haters, they don't like that. I've been grinding for a minute, fell into a bag. Had to sacrifice a lot to pop a couple tags. I done sacrificed a lot to pop a couple tags. If I had to, I would.
What's happening, good people? We are back. We are live from the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. What's in it for the black people? What's in it for the black people? What is in it for the black people? That is the question that we must ask about everything all the time. Today we're asking that question as it relates to relationship dynamics, specifically this curious case of, what's this brother's name? Do we even know his name yet? I guess we should be watching the show for an hour, but it don't matter. Point is, because it ain't necessarily about him, right? It's the larger construct at hand here. But anyway, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all so very, very much for adding y'all's perspective and input to the show. It is always valued. It is always appreciated. Y'all keep the comments coming. We will continue to read through as many of them as possible while we go through. If you're just tuning in, this is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb Howard. My esteemed co-host, his name is Toussaint Warner, and behind the glass is the one and only Flo, doing all of the hard work. We've been looking at some clips from an episode of Iyanla, and as we've been looking at the clips, we've been discussing those things with y'all, too. I don't know if you want to hop into another clip, if you want to get back into the comments.
So one comment, I was just scrolling, but this jumped out at me, and this brother says, I've made 6-figure income in all jobs I work on. As an engineer, growing up, I got real bad grades, and I'm getting a doctorate degree, and I have lived in the streets. I was not on drugs, but was down on my luck and had no financial backup. I have no sympathy or pity for those fools. I don't think they fools. One, I just think they're humans having a human experience, and the fact that you have no sympathy or empathy would be a better word for those people is reflective of the same narrative that got that man in that position that he's in right now. If you were watching from the jump, it was the same conversation that he was having to his daughters of why they should choose the kind of men they should choose. And then 2 years later, he's having to sit down with a therapist because he thought just like you, my brother. So maybe you just need to pay a little more attention for a little while. You might learn a few things. I'm clear with that one.
Okay.
Now let's go back into the comments.
Cool. Into the comments or the video?
That's what I mean, the video. I'm sorry.
All right, cool.
God damn. How do we shake the ad part?
You can't.
Get ready for the ad, y'all.
Could you find it in your heart to forgive me?
Can you?
The art is never in the painting that you're looking at.
Dope commercials. We sell dope.
Yeah.
Do you need dope?
All right, we back.
In your heart to forgive her.
Yes.
Look at her and tell her.
Yes.
You know what? Here, look at me. All of you are speaking from hurt. So if they're gonna stop, you have to stop. Right? Y'all are all in the same tribe.
Come on. They get all their money today, ain't they? Jeez.
We sell
And
dope.
you can't even skip them. Why you can't skip them?
We sell dope.
This is trash. We back.
She's out in the world. Do you see this pretty little thing here? Y'all need to have your eyes on her. And she needs to know that she can come to you. That somebody will take her and violate her and abuse her. She needs to know that when she gets the... Uh-oh, what happened? What was that I just saw go through here?
Prior to us coming here, I told all of them that I was molested as a child.
What?
I don't want to say I wasn't comfortable telling them.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah, I guess
Hell
I
no.
wasn't comfortable telling
You didn't know who you could trust.
What? Oh, champ.
Did you tell your mom?
No.
And I know you didn't tell your dad.
No.
So how long? Why? Why do you say no?
My dad crazy. Like, crazy.
Oh, hell no, champ.
Yeah, but wait a minute. You tell me that somebody sexually violated you. How old were you?
I want to say 7 or 8.
Gotta kill that motherfucker, fam.
And you remember?
Yes.
Was it repetitive or just one time?
It was more than once.
So you've been carrying that all of these years and never speak it because your dad is crazy? Do you know how damn crazy that sounds to me? That you, the child, carrying that level of burden? No. That's the kind of stuff that makes you angry. Because the adults didn't have their stuff together, you were subjected to what you were subjected to. And this is the pattern starting all over again. So you felt you couldn't tell him because your fear of his response, how he would go off. Yeah.
I was telling her when I was explaining to her why I felt like I couldn't say anything. It was more so like, all right, do I want my dad at home with me or do I want my dad locked up in jail?
It was more like trying to protect him because she knew if he found out, like, he would go off. So it was more like, I don't want to see my father go to jail.
Well, he didn't know, and I understand he go.
That's tough, bro. That is tough. Like to be that deeply engulfed into work, into your role as sole provider for this family, that you aren't even around to even kind of notice what the fuck is wrong with my 7-year-old baby girl. Like something is up around here. Like what the fuck is going on? Like there had to be some subtle changes in her behavior around that point, right?
So
that,
I see it differently.
Okay.
And maybe there's another part of this where the rest of the girls in the room say we was molested too.
Mm-hmm.
All of the daughters, I don't know how many, but at least I think it was 4 daughters there. At least 2. It was more than one. Multiple people said they had been molested. But if you listen to the responses, the reason why they didn't tell their father had nothing to do with work. Now we get back into this protector shit. You know what I mean? Because my daddy would kill XYZ for doing so. You know what I mean? He would murder X. I was not afraid to tell my daddy just to tell him. I was afraid of his response. That's what they said.
Yeah.
That's out their mouths, right? I.e. going back to the social narrative, protector and provider. For my baby girl, it's some shit I'll make a bunk up for, bro. I'm saying this as a father right now. It's some shit I will guarantee you I'll make a bunk up for.
There's some shit I'm down to receive a lethal injection for.
It's some shit I'm down to make a bunk up for. I have no qualms with going to jail over either of my children. Much shit I talk about my baby boy.
Yeah,
I have no qualms about it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and again, I'm affected by the narrative as well. Right. And I'm not saying he's wrong for that. I just want us to see how these narratives get shaped and get played out, and then how we respond to them when you actually in a position where you need to levy these shits.
Y'all shit so dysfunctional. All 4 of your girls been molested.
I don't want to say 4 because they cut away from the scene, but more than one for sure.
The other 2 was like, yeah.
I heard girl, but I don't know how many of them said.
And then the big girl probably just threw herself in. We're going to break. We'll be back.
You an asshole. Herbert's an asshole.
Only child, said the crazy tend to go around. I've been diagnosed for months now. Said that ain't paranoia, that's anxiety. Either way, I can feel when people watching me. I don't know if it's the women or if it's the clothes. When I walk inside the room, these haters get exposed. I hit my dance on these haters, they don't like that. I've been grinding for a minute, fell into a bag. Had to sacrifice a lot to pop a couple tags. I done sacrificed a lot to pop a couple tags. If I had to, I would do it all again. Just to give it all to the fam. Habits you can never understand. Lost spots, I became a man. Putting on for my hood, yeah. Putting on for my fam, yeah. Putting on for my hood, yeah. Putting on for my fam, yeah. Doc said that ain't paranoia, that's anxiety. Either way, I can feel when people watching me. I don't know if it's the women or if it's the clothes. When I walk inside the room, these haters get exposed. I hit my dance on these haters, they don't like that. I've been grinding for a minute, fell into a bag. Had to sacrifice a lot to pop a couple tags. I done sacrificed a lot to pop a couple tags.
Our black-owned business. We're hanging out this morning with Michael Drayton. We're talking money. Talk to me about investments and your viewpoint on Robinhood and somebody looking to get started in investments.
The Robinhood phenomenon is an app that was initially created so that people can sort of get involved in stocks by buying what's called partial shares, right? You know, at one point, Tesla's stock was over 1,000, heading up some ridiculous price, 2,000, and it split, right? Perhaps the share was too expensive for the average person to buy one share. So Robinhood said, let them buy $50 worth of this particular share to give them access. People started doing what is called trading, which is what I do. Trading is primarily short-term holding. You enter the stock, hope it goes up, and you take the money out. Or I won't get into some of the other strategies. So what this phenomena did create is a new class of investors that took Wall Street off guard. Basically, it was all of this new money coming in. And a lot of the money came in from the stimulus checks, by the way, because people were at home and they needed something to do. They weren't as privy to DraftKings as they are now, because DraftKings is a betting application appreciation, two things. Anytime you get money, whether it's $1 or, and I can't give specifics out for legal reasons, but there's only two ways you're really making money. You're making money based on appreciation, or you're making money based upon interest coming in. If you're looking for income streams, you have to find money that is paying interest. If you're looking to hold long term, you want to look at more equity long positions with the hopes of the market going up, which is why people buy real estate. Robinhood is but one application that is able to do that. Underlining issues are Wall Street sort of dismissed the Robinhood culture when it started. They're uneducated investors. They don't know what they're doing. They're just following the trend or whoever. And what happened is Robinhood investors ended up creating this scenario where the market started going up because there's so much buying going on and so much activity going in.
Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me said. Remy said a Juke-a-thon day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. I be done had a heart.
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, that not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that? Yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day, because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth. Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
This is retired State Senator Ricky Hendon. This is my new song, Be My Christmas. It's on my House Party CD, produced by house music icon King Farley. It's available on my website, HollywoodHendon.com. And this is our new song, We Getting Lit. The album also has songs like Rona Money. Get the House Party CD in time for Christmas and New Year's Eve.
This is the king of house music, Farley Jack Master Funk, and I endorse Hollywood Ricky Hendon. Let's go to work.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Week events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Week members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
WIFTBPM.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
happening, good people? We are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. My name is Herb Howard alongside Toussaint Warner. This is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. We appreciate y'all so very, very much for tuning in. Thank y'all so very, very much for including y'all's valuable input on this all too important conversation. Thank y'all so very, very much for tuning in. We are acutely aware that you could be doing anything else right now. You could be doing absolutely nothing. But the fact that y'all are here is something that we greatly, greatly appreciate. Even if you're in your car, if you're at the crib, if you're at the job, if you're at the barbershop and you're tuning in, we appreciate y'all so very, very much. Two, we've been playing these clips from this particular episode of Iyanla Fix My Life. I'm a huge fan of Iyanla. I like the way that she approaches most topics. She approaches them in the only way they can be approached, head on. She's unapologetic. She doesn't hold any punches. She doesn't pick sides. She on the woman ass. She on the man ass. She on the kid's ass. Like, I like the way Iyanla approaches these critical conversations. And so I'm glad that she is the one who is facilitating this, family intervention, if you will. That being said, it's a lot of harm that's been done here, right? It's a lot of harm that's been done here just based off living in alignment with the societal norms, the social norms that says, hey, man should pay everything in the house. You know what I'm saying? Go to work, provide, protect. But it's it is those very provisions and the very nature of him being a protector that has led them to this space, right? You heard the daughter say he would kill him, right? Because he's being a protector, he doesn't know that his children are being abused, right? Because he is being a provider, he doesn't know that his children are being abused and that there's this dysfunction and there's this growing disdain towards him in his own house from his wife, from his children as well. Ultimately, he ends up having physical confrontations with his son, verbal confrontations with his daughters. It's an absolute mess. It is an absolute mess, and I think everybody has equal blame in it.
Yeah, Nyla Lore asked the question, and what is Mama saying about the molestation? Would be inclined to believe it had to be someone given access to the home Mama didn't know? ? Something wrong and absent from protection in this family. Did the mother have a history of molestation in her life? This sounds like there should be or could be some complicity, conspiracy of silence, toxic family dynamics, sad. Now imagine what those children will carry into their own relationships. Sadly, the beat goes on with no healing, deep pathology, and survival tactics to live through. I thought that was a interesting comment to make.
Yeah.
Conversation to ask. Yeah. We know why they didn't tell dad. Why didn't they tell mom? You know what I mean? And because they said they didn't say why they didn't tell mom, but they said that the only people that knew was each other. You know what I mean? But again, nuance. This all is the nuance. I do not want to linger in what's going on in this family. I just want to deal with the nuances of the social structure that we all can, if we honest about, recognize that we live in.
For sure.
And the kind of effects that they yield. You know what I mean? And it kind of goes both ways, and it's scary. You know what I mean? I know fully that my daughter knows I would kill somebody if they ever touched her in any kind of way. I fully know that, and I don't know how she would respond because I'm sure there would be some fear attached to possibly saying something to me like that because she know I'm going to kill that person. And it's just interesting to see this played out in real time. But again, we got a whole hour to jump into the conversation. I want to get through the rest of the clips, right?
All right, cool.
This was the next one, and there's another nuance going on here about his relationship with his sons. He only has one son. That's why it's taking so long to get to that.
Right.
Well, I want to get to that as well.
Let's talk about that.
A bad father.
What? Tell me how. How so?
He has no relationship with any of his kids. His relationship is money.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Do you feel safe with your father? Safe meaning, do you think he'll hurt you?
Depends on the day.
Emotionally hurt you?
Depends on the day. Sometimes he just mad for no reason, at a certain point, you just get used to it.
So tell me, when did you stop caring?
6th grade after we got into the fight. He came behind me, tried to whoop me for something I didn't do. My sister came out of his room, got in front of me, and they started going at it. I jumped on his back, tried to choke him out. He flipped me over his shoulder, pushed us against the wall, said he would kill us. And then...
Wait a minute. Hold up. Your father said he would kill you?
Yeah.
Did you believe him?
Yeah. The next fight was my 9th grade year. He ran out of steps and tried to choke me out. I was older, so like, it didn't go how he thought. So I got up, pushed him off me, and then I pushed him into the wall. He ripped my shirt. I had like a scratch, like a scratch right here.
He threw something at me and hit me. I came back downstairs and I grabbed him.
It's all the things that happen to get us there, though. He doesn't feel respected, you don't feel respected. Now y'all not father and son anymore in that space. You're just two dudes.
Two niggas on the street.
We got into another fight.
He grabbed my hair to the root.
Like a bunch of my hair came out. He was like, you little bitch, you little bitch, you little bitch. I was like, you sure you want to say that? He kept on saying it. And I was like, all right. He started choking.
Sure you want to say that?
Eventually, when he started turning red, he let go.
Nigga, I feed this.
He's like, I would have shot you. I said, I would have got to the gun first. You wouldn't have.
That's not what I
They
said.
talking about
Can't
killing
get
each
you to
other.
be defensive. We got to get this thing fixed.
Yeah, we here now.
We got to pause,
Yeah,
right?
we here now.
We got to hear it differently, right?
Tiger, that is Steve Perry.
I know a lot of things because I've seen a lot of things. When a young
Tight
man
pants Steve.
is in breakdown with his father, he becomes a man in breakdown. The things that you're saying to me give me great cause for concern. I brought in another coach, a man, and I'd really like you to have a conversation with him. I think you'll like him. Mr. Jordan, this is Dr. Steve Perry.
Come on, man. You're guard?
You can have my chair.
What position you play?
I play linebacker.
You the quarterback on the defense is what you're supposed to be.
Yes.
So I work with kids, many of them playing sports.
Respect.
So would you say you're a coachable person?
Yeah.
Generally?
Yes, football, that's easy.
Well, it's not something you can switch off. If you're coachable, you're coachable. I recognize you have some issue with your dad. I do too. What would you say you don't get from your father that you like?
Term. He don't be at the house and then he try to replace it with money and that's not how you build a relationship.
I agree with that. Where is he typically?
Work.
I know that it's much easier to say that we don't care than to say that we do, because caring makes us vulnerable. And as men, vulnerability is the hardest of all emotions to master, but it's the most important.
And that's on your steps.
It is, and it is hard.
Would you believe me if I told you that I've spent the past couple days watching your father cry about how much he's hurt over the decisions that he's made?
No.
Like you, your father lacks the ability, the language that's necessary to express his real emotions. What do you think stands in the way of him and you being able to show that side of who you are?
He's always been rude.
He acknowledged that. What would that mean to you? Just that he's been rude.
It really wouldn't mean nothing. Like, okay,
You said you coachable, right?
Yes.
So if you're coaching your father and he acknowledges that he's made an error, then what's your responsibility as a coach?
He will be getting benched by now if he plays.
Okay, you know what? And he would agree with you. So then after he's benched, then what do you do?
Practice what they just told you not to do. He ain't practicing.
That's why we're here, son. He ain't crying for sport. You want your coach to just shut him down?
No.
I feel like you feel that that's kind of how your father was towards you, like he was that kind of shut you down coach. So if you want to be different, then you have to be different.
While the men think about how to build up their broken down relationship, I'm taking the daughters to the
What you think of that, bro?
About the son piece? Yeah. I think that it was unavoidable, bro. I think it's unavoidable. You got a young boy growing into manhood in a household where he theoretically has a father, right? But practically he does not. Now, he was born into a family where the father's role is to merely provide. That ain't that shorty's fault, but it's still going to end poorly, right? When you have this man who who views himself, and rightfully so, as your father, wants to tell you what to do, how to be, how to act, when to do, what to do. And as you continue to grow older and you start to feel yourself growing into your own manhood, you're like, I don't even know this nigga. He's steady trying to tell me what to do just because he pay a few bills around this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know how arrogant you get as a 14, 15-year-old boy. As soon as girls start liking you, as soon as you start accomplishing things in your given arena, sports, theater, music, whatever the hell it is, right? You start to feel a certain way about yourself, right? You start to smell yourself a little bit, as they say. And inevitably, that is going to bump heads with the head of your household being your father. But the resentment sets in. It's like, dude, you ain't even here. How you gonna come here for a couple hours a day and tell me what to do? You ain't even here. You don't even know what's going on here, right? And so he pop off once. All it takes is once. He don't gotta pop off a whole lot. Just one time to a real black father, like, that's providing everything in his house. Who the fuck is you talking to? That I'm sure that was his very first response, the very first time Shorty popped off. Who the fuck are you talking to? And he's like, I'm talking to you. Okay. Now we at another level now. Now, like the doctor said, we not father and son no more. We just two niggas on the street. And that thing escalates to the point where the father says, I go get the gun. And Shorty said, I would have got to it first. Now y'all talking about shooting each other dead in this house, father and son. I think that it was unavoidable because of the construct that was set up. The boy was born into it. The father willingly married into it. It's fucked up.
So I got a different perspective. And we both.
Can you say pushback? I don't think you said that shit yet.
Yeah, I'm pushing back then.
Thank you.
Just so you feel comfortable.
You know what I'm
okay?
saying? We got a reputation to maintain here.
It's just a different perspective because it's not pushback. It's just a different perspective, right? I can't say there's a right, wrong, or none of that. Mm-hmm. But we both know our own personal experiences. You know how we came up.
Sure.
Your lack of a father,
Right.
my affinity for mine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I can remember a specific incident. Maybe I was 19, maybe even 20.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my old man got to arguing. You know? And by this time, I surely would have beat the dog shit out of my old man if
Right.
it came to that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's my father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we was outside. He picked up a brick, and it fucked me up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, what the fuck are you doing?
You gonna hit me with a brick?
I was like, you finna hit me with a brick? But it only fucked me up because in his mind, he thought that I would ever lay hands on. That's what fucked me up. Not the fact that he picked up a brick. The fact that he thought I lacked respect for him in a way that I would ever put my hands on him.
You think we to that point?
I would never do that to my father.
Right. Right.
Because I had that level of respect for him.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, in the context of the conversation they're having, you know, this started with him in 6th grade. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the context of just me and my own son's relationship. I couldn't imagine my 6th grade son being aggressive enough to say, or to lack respect for me enough to say, regardless if he got his ass whooped for something that he did wrong,
mm-hmm.
to say, I'm about to whoop your ass. Right? And in the context of the conversation he was having with the other doctor guy, right? The daddy starts explaining the actual situation and how this shit started playing out. Mm-hmm. And the doctor said, no. It's not that at all. No. It's all the shit before that.
It was right. That's what I'm saying. This was doomed from the start, fam. This was unavoidable.
It's all the shit before that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, they asked the son, what's your biggest problem with your daddy? You know what I mean? And his immediate response was, he don't spend time with me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. He doesn't spend time with me.
I think, and I don't want to say he's lying, but I'm going to add some context to that. Again, we're going to get to the rest of the depth of this story as we get to the last clips of these stories.
He ain't lying, bro.
But I'm going to ask, I want to add context, though, because I think it's deeper than just time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and I want to juxtapose that story I just told you with my own father.
Sure.
Right? I also told you, nigga, I hooped all my life. My daddy been to one basketball game my whole life.
Right.
Because he had to go get it.
Right.
And I was bothered at the time he wouldn't come to my games. And as I got older, I started to recognize he paid for these shoes that I could play in.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But again, context and my respect for my father, that when we got to that point where we had that kind of a verbal altercation,
mm-hmm.
and he picked up a brick with the assumption that I would ever lay my hands on him, that hurt me more than the fact that he picked up the brick.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You got me fucked up, my man.
Sure.
I love you. I ain't never put my hands on you.
It ain't never that.
It ain't going to never be that.
Right.
So just to juxtapose these two dynamics, when I look at it from my own perspective, I'd have to say that there's something else at play here than time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let's just get to these other clips. What I say, 107.14?
You said 107.15 is what you said. Man, this is a heavy conversation, but it's necessary. It's a necessary part of the conversation. I'm glad you wanted to have this discussion today. I know it's not a Friday. We're not going to be here on Friday, but I'm glad you wanted to have this. And tomorrow we'll probably do something a little fun, a little lighthearted. So I'm glad we had this conversation today. You got your spot.
Wrong, but I did tell you I was going to have you talk to your dad at some point, right?
Damn.
Yes. So we still...
Adding one.
with a rat.
What is this? Hot boys.
Still cool with that, right? Yes. Thank you for that. This is what he and I have been working on. It's a metaphor. As a father, the king of his home, his castle, these are the steps that he has to take in order to make it there. Okay. So do you see in him these characteristics? Most of them, no. Which ones do you think he said that he's struggling on? Maybe he might have said all of them. The irony in that is that in saying that he struggles in all these,
you
one of the
ungrateful
things
little
he's
bastard.
ultimately doing is owning his own vulnerability. My commitment in talking to you is to make sure that whatever the errors, mistakes, bad decisions that your father has made, that you don't replicate them. I think that's what you want, right? Yes. Which of these do you think you struggle with?
None.
Authority, wisdom, honesty. What else? Balance? I don't really get that. So balance really means to be able to balance the way in which you communicate, the way in which you conduct yourself. Because one of the things I notice in both you and your father, I think it's the whole family, is nobody's ever wrong, huh? I admit I'm wrong sometimes. I've seen you do it with me. So let me just be clear. But to each other, it seems like it's a sign of weakness. I'm not gonna get that answer. Well, that means you're not communicating well.
It means you're lying.
Did the same thing just a couple minutes ago when I was talking to him about communication in exactly the same way. I just want to point out that what happens is when we do the same exact things to the people who we say we don't want to be like, we end up being just like them. When you and I both know the truth and you don't acknowledge it, that's on you.
Sure ain't gonna be like his father. He ain't gonna have 8
What
children.
I do want to do is I do want to honor what you did say and
that
what
out
I
there.
believe is a great opportunity.
Take it for what you will.
What I want to do is I want to bring your dad up. All right. I'm gonna pull him up here, and to the extent that you feel comfortable speaking, he's gonna listen. You're gonna see him working on these things. What are we about to speak about? What are we gonna talk about? We may not talk about anything. What I asked you to do is to be open. You told me you would do that. That's all I want. Okay. You can sit right there, and I'm gonna be back in seconds.
Can we pause this for a second, bro? I don't know if you got another point, but can we just pause it for a second?
That's the end of that one.
Bro, I don't even know Shorty. I ain't never bought him a Happy Meal. I want to beat his ass. Okay? So if I bought him everything he's ever had, provided this, I don't know if that's that crib or not, I'm going to say it's their crib. Now, I know they staged.
It's not their crib.
Okay, I'm going to say it is, though, because I don't know that it's not. I know they staged the throne and all that, right? But I'm going to say it's their crib. I put him in this crib. I done bought everything he's ever had. Everything he's ever eaten, I paid for. Every light he's ever enjoyed, every piece of heat he's ever been comforted by, I paid for. I'll beat his ass. Shorty is arrogant as hell. Shorty has no respect for his father. What I gotta talk to him for? Nah, I don't got none of them issues. He got all the issues. My father struggles with all of these things. I don't really struggle with none of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude got some issues. Now again, I'm not even blaming Shorty. I'm not even blaming him. I'm just saying I would beat his ass, right? At the same time I acknowledge I'm going to beat his ass, I can acknowledge that I'm not really blaming him for the outcome. Again, I think the outcome was unavoidable. It was set up by the construct, by the dynamics that the mother and the father married into. Y'all didn't like each other. Y'all didn't love each other. At least she didn't love him by her own admission. Y'all got married anyway. Y'all started this family. Y'all got 8 kids. He paid for everything. That is the dynamic. That is the dynamic that y'all champion. The only reason that we know who y'all are, because that first video went viral, and now y'all on Eon's show, because all of you all were clapping, profusely applauding his declaration that he covers everything. And he said, if you call me, I'm there. Right? Not that I'm already there. Not that I know what's happening with you. But if you call me and say it's an issue, I'll pull up.
So
and they was cool with it.
It's 5:25, so we ain't got to play. It was one more clip, and I don't exactly know where it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the very last clip, and it's like it's glanced over in regards to the context of this totality of this show.
Sure.
There's a brief conversation between the husband and the wife, and they're talking about reconciling their differences. And there's one point in the clip where in the conversation where he says, you know, it's like every time I call your name, you're irritated. Mm-hmm. Every time I say my wife's name, you respond to me with rolling of the eyes. Or it's like my whole interaction with you, no matter what, is negative, right? Mm-hmm. And this is where we're going to get back. We're going to go. Now we're going to reverse the tape. Mm-hmm. This is where she becomes the pimp in the transactional part of the conversation.
Okay, break that down.
Right?
Break that.
So, and this is how, in my mind, and not to say it leads to this, but it exemplifies at least this portion of the video with his son, right? I said this the other day, man, that a girl usually models her self-esteem via her relationship with her father. Mm-hmm. A boy usually models his via his relationship with his mama.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
So when I see that this shorty is at 6th grade willing to buck up against the old man, somebody else is modeling that, that's okay.
Oh, it's throughout the house. He's not here. So throughout the house, everybody's motherfucking him while he's out providing for this very same household.
Yeah, but see, how you all motherfuck each other versus motherfucking the king of the throne.
Right.
Because that's how he comes in. That's why the throne is there.
Oh, these ain't private pillow talk conversations. I'm motherfucking him in the kitchen. I'm motherfucking him in the living room.
In the living room. Yeah. Right? Fuck dude, because he's just a check for my security.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
So then, and there's another portion of the shit where he was like, we got into a fight in 9th grade, and then go how he thought. That's why everybody's in here talking about he was this little arrogant motherfucker. Mm-hmm. He's taking pleasure and feeling like I whooped his ass.
Oh yeah.
And in this context of the conversation, there's a few
But here you are at 20, literally hurt by the fact that your father even think that you would.
You think I would put my hands on you, bro. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it just, for me, contextually, it just doesn't resonate. You know what I mean? So from the daddy's perspective, though, if I'm feeding, clothing, and taking care of this little guy right here.
Period.
And he's looking at me because he's surely looking at him like you a bitch.
Period. He's
communicating that all through this video.
Period.
I don't see no other recourse other than to.
There's nothing else.
Yeah,
once that cub lion in the pride looks at the king lion in the pride and says, "I will beat your ass," that king lion his only response is going to be to smack the shit out that cub lion. That's it.
You got to reestablish the power structure.
That's it.
In my mind,
there's nothing else left. Call Yonlin here to come fix this shit because I'm finna kill this little motherfucker.
I'm finna beat the brakes off this little fucker.
And that's why the father wrote to Yonlin, like, this shit is out of hand, and I'm talking about killing my son, right? My daughter's got earth-shattering secrets that I don't know nothing about. My wife don't like me, right? Like, I need Yonlin here because this shit is about to hit the fan. Period. That's how it's gonna go in any construct. Go to the fucking zoo. Go down there and watch how the fucking gorillas interact. Little gorilla raised up on that big silverback gorilla. Silverback gorilla gonna knock his ass across the motherfucking. It just is what it is. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it was unavoidable due to the construct that they all agreed to be in. We got to take a break. When we come back from break, if you got another clip of that you want to break down, or if you got some comments that you want to get to, we can hop into that piece. All right, when we come back, we'll hop into your comments. We'll give our perspective on this conversation as well. This is I Said What I Said, Herb and 2 for another half hour. We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTBPM.
Man, you know I love you, right? Just gotta be real with me. You cheating on me?
I said, boy, don't you know what you do to me? He said, there you go with that. I said, boy, don't you know what you do to me?
You know how I feel about you. I'm trying to make this work. My guys keep coming to me, telling me they seen you was stud. How that's making me look? Buy you them rings, them leathers, getting your hair done every week. You gotta let me know something.
Look, if you don't trust me, why the f is you with me? Coming at me on some Jay-Z shit. Who you with? Calling my cell, leaving crazy voicemails. Figured you could get me if you called my girl Nikki, but she was with me. And I was home at 7:50, but that's when he got technical with it. Talking about he called my house at 7:59. I don't keep up with the time. What the f you think I'm lying? It all comes down to you trust me or you won't. The bottom line is you love me or you don't. And do you need me, baby?
Yeah, you know I do.
So you believe me, baby?
Yeah, for sure I do.
Then he gave me a hug, jumped in the truck and went to work. He managed to leave without getting his feelings hurt. So I sat back, flamed up the weed and thought of who the hell done ran their mouth and almost got me caught up. Said, boy, don't you know what you do to me? He said,
but I don't usually.
I said, boy, don't you know what you do to me? He said,
you know I don't usually.
I said, boy, don't you know what you do to me? I be hating when you acting brand new. But you hear me telling people that you do with me. You gotta keep this here between you and
Look,
me.
I feel bad about the fact that you gotta creep with me. When your man be around, you don't speak to me. When my girl be around, I see you peeping me. When they both ain't around, you be freaking me. We used to do it secretly, now you all talk. You telling everybody like you wanna get caught. I think my girl catching on cause my story keep changing up. You gotta stop calling up my crib hanging up. Truthfully, if you telling people that you doing me, then you telling me that you don't even wanna screw with me. And that's a shame, I can't even do my thing. You dick and you go temporarily insane. You think it's a game, but I don't wanna play no more. You wanna stay, but you can't stay no more. You wanna be with Kay, but that ain't okay no more. You got something to say, but you ain't gotta say no more. I said, girl, don't you know what you do to me? She said,
but I don't usually.
I said, girl, don't you know what you do to me? She said,
you know I don't usually.
I said, girl, don't you know what you do to me? I be hating when you acting brand new to me. I'ma tell your ass now, baby, truthfully. I ain't told nobody that you doing with me. It seemed like fine was just hard to find mostly. The type of girls to give you they whereabouts supposedly. And when you check, they ain't never where they supposed to be. I learned my lesson now, only close to me. Don't get me wrong, you still gotta look close to me. This ain't a song I made for ugly start approaching me. You know how this go, I did something very mean now. My roly face green now, bring your self-esteem
since
down.
the day I met you if I was with now. So later on I asked my girl how many you got. I never loved you a lot, but then this nigga
Don't get blocked. What made somebody?
This the syndicate music.
This syndicate. We got this from Tifa. Tifa was up here last week. Boss be scared, man. Boss be concerned.
He's a Bolingbrook guy.
Big Red be concerned. We got they posters hanging in the studio.
He big.
Make Chicago rap again. Infamous.
He big maroon. He ain't all the way pure red.
He big maroon.
He big maroon.
He big lavender.
Big lavender around this motherfucker.
That is funny, man. Listen, y'all, if y'all are just tuning in, this is I Said What I Said. We are live from the beautiful What's In It for the Black People Media Studio. Shout out to the amazing artist, Crave. Pretty sure Maze would agree. He's a phenomenal artist. Shout out to the phenomenal artist, Crave. I'm pretty sure that Maze would agree. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this Wednesday edition of I Said What I Said. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Toussaint Warner. Today we are having a conversation that is wrapped around a social construct we've kind of all accepted, that the man's job is to provide and protect. What happens when providing and protecting is not enough? What happens when you provide everything you can and you are the ultimate protector, but that still leads to extreme dysfunction in your family?
Real quick, Maze, that was the Syndicate's record, G. I don't know if Ye can trip. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, no, we ain't got time for Ye to be tripping. That was Tifa. Tifa was in the studio with the fam last week. Shout out to Tifa. Shout out to Shauna. Shout out to the whole Syndicate, man. That's their song. We rolling. They gave it to us.
They heard Big Lavender, the mic was on.
I said Big Lavender on the show.
Oh, I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, when you said Big Maroon, that was live. That was all out here. That
Big lavender.
Big maroon, big lavender. That was all out here. That's
because you were saying some other things in that conversation about something totally different. I just wanted to make sure the mics
if
wasn't
the mic was on then this will be my last show.
Yeah, that'll be it.
that'll be it. That had nothing to do with big lavender, but it'll still be too much to come back from. Anyway, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to this edition of I Said What I Said. I saw y'all talking earlier about some book club stuff. Y'all need to holler at R.O. Double and Shannon Young and Adrian Anderson and Nicole Rogers and Adrian. They are on top of that piece in terms of everything that is happening with the Is Wiz Book Club. You can follow the Is Wiz Book Club page. The page on Facebook is Wiz Book Club. ISWIS Book Club. Is Wiz Book Club if you want to be a part of that. The first book we're going to be reading is The Miseducation of the Negro. And to my understanding, and don't quote me on this because, again, I'm not leading this thing. I'm not spearheading this at all. Y'all got to talk to them about that piece. I think that it's going to be like a third Thursday of the month. The first one is going to be in January when we actually discuss whatever chapters have been assigned for the book, which I don't know just yet. So find out how you get the book. I know somebody was in the comments earlier saying about how to get the book. I kind of missed who was saying that.
You can get it from Amazon for like $4.
Okay. We're right on there. Boosie said she got her books. All right, so we often roll. The Is Wiz Book Club is definitely a thing. It is definitely cracking. It has the best leadership in the world. Shout out to all y'all for putting that together. Again, people be hitting us up like, yo, what's up with the book club? I was like, I don't know. You literally got to holler at Shannon and them. I don't even know what's going on with it. Like, holler at Robin, holler at Shannon. They'll put y'all in the game on what it is. Yeah, we all read it before Beulah. We know. We get that piece, but it's still a conversation that we want to have. We read that piece, so you can still join the book club, partake in the conversation based off your understanding of having already read it, or you can just read it again. And suggest some books, Beulah. I know you got some book ideas that you want to add to the list. Get Robin Patrice the book ideas so she can add them to the list. She's got a running list of books that we're going to be reading in the club.
That's that Beulah intellectual snobbery.
Principal McCloyd.
Principal of diet.
Right. Principal McCloyd.
Hey, but I want to vote on these next books, man. Y'all bringing up books from like the 1922s and shit.
No, I've been saying since jump that I would like for them to coordinate which books we read with you, right? You've read some of everything, and I know that you are understanding.
And there's a lot of new books that have a lot of
conversations
that are more intriguing. I done read out of those shit.
Okay, well, some of those books are necessary, though, bro. Not everybody has read them. You've read everything. So you need to read them again. Just like I told Beulah, you need to read it again, too. Or just participate in the conversation from your existing understanding.
No, I'm with it though. Let's get it, man. I'm with it. But I do want to have a little bit of input in at least the next one we read. Cause I want to get
for
something.
sure.
We're gonna go old. Let's go new as well.
Oh, I hear Big Lavender out there in the green room.
Big Lavender's out there.
I hear Big Lavender
Big
out
Maroon,
there.
Big Maroon in the building.
Big Lavender is here. What's up, man? How come everybody else can come into the green room? I never know they're out there. As soon as Big Lavender walks in, I instantly know it. He got to make an entrance every time. He just get loud as hell. He just come in all the time, Big Lavender. Shout out to Mace Jackson, man. Huh? Yeah, we're not calling you Big Red no more. It's now Big Lavender.
Big Lavender. So look, Sadiq said this. He said, never has been enough. I'm assuming he's responding to somebody else, but it says, never has been enough. Simplistic understanding perpetuated by abusive Euro culture. Manhood/fatherhood provider has always been more involved, nuanced, and spiritual in ancient African melanated culture. That's an interesting comment, man. But again, I wanted us to look at the nuances of how the social narrative shapes us, as well as how we leverage the social dynamic to define our relationships. I think that the responses from both children, or not both children, but all of his children, are wrapped into those social narrative nuance. I think the relationship that he essentially formed with his wife was based in that same narrative, and I say this oftentimes, like, I think love is a rarity, I think love is at a premium in this social dynamic that we live in. I think it almost doesn't exist. You know what I mean? I know I get a lot of pushback when I say shit like that, but here's a couple who they didn't have all 8 of those children together, but they've been together since the first one that they had was born. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think the first one that they had was at least in their 20s or something like that. Mm-hmm. So they've been together for, a multitude of years. Yeah. And just a year or two ago when his first viral video went out, from the very one-sided perspective, the world cheered and clapped because this is what the social narrative says is the definitive of masculinity.
100%.
You know what I mean? I think once you get below under the surface of that mask, you start to realize a few things. One, that it's not fulfilling. That's one. You realize everybody in that motherfucking conversation, nobody was fulfilled. Nobody. I don't give a fuck. The daddy, he wrote Ayanla. Even after the tough poke my chest out like I'm a man, motherfucker. And what the wife say, he felt validated. But truthfully, he don't feel validated or he wouldn't have wrote Ayanla. You know what I mean? The wife said she's not validated. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, man. Adrian is clowning. Two's book recommendation, The Effects of White Supremacy and Capitalism on the Black Curmudgeon.
Whatever. Carla, that should be the next title of my next book.
That should be your next book.
But the wife didn't feel validated. She didn't feel value in the situation. You know what I mean? But she leveraged and anchored herself into the security of what that dynamic looked like for her, you know? Then they had all 8 of these children, and all of them had little idiosyncrasies that said that they were also unfulfilled. So it's very interesting to me that the very top of our hierarchy of value sets in other people, it's kind of based on, at least specifically from a male perspective, that narrative, right? And here's a guy who essentially met that narrative for you.
To the T.
To a T.
My wife ain't paid a mortgage payment in 18 years, no gas bill, no nothing. I provide all the food in the house. Everything is on me.
And at the end of it all, he was invisible to his woman and his children.
Same kids that was in the background screaming and yelling, yeah, that's my dad. That's why I love my daddy. You don't even fuck with dude.
No, don't need nobody.
But let's be clear, dog. Who really likes their sugar daddy?
Wildin'.
I'm not wildin'.
You're not wildin' though. But you're not wildin' though.
I understand it's funny, but I'm dead ass.
But that's the statement that I always make. If that's what it is, be honest about what it is.
I'm just
right?
dead ass.
And
like
then if you had that baby, that's on you.
That's on you.
I cut you a check.
That's on you.
But that's on you.
Right. I'll pay for these
but
little
then
fuckers,
I don't want to wear a hoe on my jacket.
Right. Yeah. No. Right.
That's one way to look at it. That's real. That's honest.
I'm for real.
And he got to wear John on his jacket because he's a trick.
He does.
Right? But we're not honest about where we operating from.
Right. Just keep it a buck. I'm dead serious, y'all. I know it's funny, but I'm dead ass serious.
We laughing about it.
Nobody likes their sugar daddy for real. You fuck with that nigga because he got bread. That's it. If he didn't have bread, you wouldn't go over his house. You wouldn't give him no attention. You wouldn't answer his call, period.
But listen, the entirety of the context of the relationship, of the American relationship, is based on that same pimp hoe construct. And then you wonder why you lack love. Right? Then you wonder why your children lack love.
Right.
Because wasn't nobody ever here for that shit.
Right.
I was making a deal.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. This was a transaction, fam.
And that's from both perspectives. This ain't judging women or men. This is from both of them. The sister came in. Everything we do is transactional.
And
so when my kids don't meet my need, well, I fuck you. I ain't buying you this. I'm not going to give you this. Right? Because it's a negotiation now with that. And you raise another generation of kids who are going to operate in the world in the same space. Yeah. So, yeah, I've been molested, but it's okay. This is what I got out the deal. Or I did get out the deal.
Oh, no. There are families in this country where the child molester in the family has been identified and everybody understands exactly who it is, but they provide something, right? They provide some financial stability to the family. They provide this skill set to the family. They provide that to the family. So everybody, although we know they done touched every niece, daughter, cousin in the joint, we still gonna let it ride. We still gonna let it be cool.
And mind you,
that person's still gonna be at Christmas tomorrow. That
they never mentioned who the abuser was, but for all of them to get touched, it had to be someone like they said has access.
This is close. She said this happened multiple times, and it happened to all of them.
Yeah,
this motherfucker is close.
And then going back to the little boy, and the little boy is for me, right? The little boy kind of speaks louder than everybody else, and I'm only saying that because I have a little boy experience. I've been a son before. And I've definitely been a son to a father. Bruh. You know what I mean? And when you see that, it's funny, man. I ain't going to say no names, but I can model that relationship after a real life relationship that I know about. And it breaks down very similarly, right? All this affinity to the mama. The daddy kind of was a check. And over the years of that, as that boy becomes a man, he resents the daddy for just being a check.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. And just like, the lion pride, when that young lion becomes a full-grown lion, him and the daddy gonna clash. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've had the opportunity to see that particular relationship that I'm talking about transform again.
Mm-hmm.
To
a healthy space.
To a more healthy space.
Right.
Because he has a different understanding of the role that his father played in his life.
Sure.
But it was a role that was shaped through the lens of his mama's view of his daddy beforehand.
100%, dog.
You understand?
Yeah.
So even in the comments that we looking at, right, there was somebody, I don't remember, it might have been, it probably was Lucretia. I don't know. Let me not say that because I know how that shit to go left. But
you and that darn Lucretia.
But there was some comment in there that said that the mama didn't have a role in the say in the house. Right? Now let me tell you something, man. I don't give a goddamn about how the narrative for this show was shaped. But if everybody's there saying my problem with my daddy is I didn't have time because he was going working, the mama had immense say in the house because it was her fucking house.
She ran the house. He paid for the house.
He paid for the house. She ran the house.
That's it.
So that's a falsehood.
He ain't even there to run the house.
She probably shaped the very definitive of most of the behaviors in the house.
She chose where the furniture was gonna go. She chose what y'all could be in the house. She chose where y'all couldn't be. She chose what we was gonna eat tonight. She chose everything. Dude just paid for it.
He just paid for it. You can't have it both ways, G.
And it's clear that nobody in the house respects him, including and starting with the wife/mother.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is let's question the narratives, though.
Attitude reflect leadership.
Let's question the narratives.
Who was
though.
leading that house?
Again, let's question the narratives.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If we pull 10 people on the street and say, what's the definitive of manhood? And I ain't saying women, I'm saying 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
You pull 10 men and 10 women and you ask them, what is the definitive of manhood?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to say provider and protector. Right? And that's not fulfilling to neither party.
No.
To neither party, but that's the aspiration of everybody in the game. And I don't understand that or why we are so addicted to that conceptually.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't want to negate either value either, right?
Mm-hmm.
There has to be some provision and there has to be some protection.
Mm-hmm.
And I've aligned myself within the same social narrative, but that isn't the totality of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we ask what do we value about the male species, what is the definitive? That's it.
That's it.
It don't really go too much past that.
Nah, it doesn't very often go past that point. And Ready Rock says, I just want the same grace and understanding and nuance shown towards the mom. And I'm equal opportunity with this shit. I'm like Iyanla. I think everybody in this situation is equally at fault. I ain't cutting the father no slack. You chose this joint.
If I called her a hoe, I called them a trick.
You
so
did.
they getting it both equally. I don't know what you're hearing, but
you said she got to wear the whole tag. He got to wear the John.
But
tag.
let's just be honest about what it is. That's all I said. So I'm providing her the exact same grace I'm providing her.
They both agreed to this bullshit ass construct that was doomed from the start. This was not healthy for their children from the start. Period. It wasn't going to work. You got this dude who's paying for everything, thinking he's the king of the household, although he's never in the fucking house. He's paying for everything, but nobody really respects him. Mom don't even like him, right? Like she's like, I don't even know if I'm trying to keep this thing together. I'm about done with dude, to be honest with you. Because you know why? It's cool when you first get the big shiny house until you live in that motherfucker for 10 years. Now it's just your house. It ain't all that big and it ain't all that fucking shiny no more. And that's like, this shit ain't worth it. I would like somebody that I'm actually attracted to. I would like somebody that I actually love, somebody that I'm passionate about. I ain't passionate about this dude, and if I'm honest, I never really fucking was. We just got pregnant. He said I wasn't going to be a baby daddy, so we should get married. I was like, okay.
So Beulah makes a great point. She says it's not an addiction to. We've been socialized in the cauldron of that narrative. People may not know anything else, which goes back to this conversation with Sadiq and the fish. We in the water.
Yeah. What's water?
Right? What's water?
Mm-hmm.
We in the water,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I fully get that. But at what point do we stop being victims and start being volunteers? So for us, those of us who I deem, I don't even want to say in the know, but at least are seeking out these answers,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes imperative that we share.
That we tell an accurate narrative.
The conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least shape the possibility for difference.
Mm-hmm.
right? So even in the conversation that we're having here, and we're having the conversation.
Oh, we always have a conversation with it,
right? And you can see within the conversations we're still getting
lecture.
A wide array of viewpoints. You know what I mean? And some of them viewpoints, whether they know it or not, are trying to stick to the narrative, right? And all we're saying is that we got to expand that viewpoint.
We must, man. That is literally why we have these conversations. We say all the time, it ain't about me being right, it ain't about you being right. You and I disagree on a lot of shit. We disagree with the Iswiz family on a lot of shit. Like, it just is what it is. We need to have the conversation, right? And everybody's input is valuable, whether it's Bueller's, whether it's Lucretia's, yours, mine, who's ever. Like everybody's input is necessary to this conversation. And then it's just about, okay, now that our eyes are at least open to this issue, right, open to this problem, how do we then move forward? How do we then go about addressing this thing and at least continue to tell this story in its totality and in its authentic form? Not no bullshit about, oh, he just an ain't shit dad. Not no bullshit like, oh, she just an ain't shit mom. Not no bullshit like these just bad kids. Like, nah. There is a fundamental problem with our accepted social norm for relationship constructs in this country, and they lead to this very outcome.
And here's a portion of the conversation
white people see it all the time.
We didn't even touch on, right? This is a brother in position to take care of 8 babies and a woman.
Say that.
Right?
Say that.
8 babies and a woman.
Say that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if we get into the deeper construct of what black masculinity and how it's affected capitalism, the vast majority of us is not even in a position to take care of 8 children.
Right, because I already gave him credit for buying that $1 million crib. I know they in Ohio, but that's still at least $1 million crib.
That ain't his crib. That's Ayanna's crib.
I don't know that.
That's Ayanna's crib. That's where she films the show at.
Okay, cool.
But my point in saying what I'm saying is that if we see the levels of disrespect for the man in the home, what the fuck you think it look like outside of it? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How does that start to build and shape community? Right? How does that start to build and shape our community? And I'm not saying good or bad. I'm saying that our answers lies to our behavior sets right here. That's why I didn't want to focus in on this particular relationship. Right? I wanted to focus on what this particular relationship represents. And when you start to focus on what it represents from the standpoint of the social norms, you have to question everything else that comes behind it. Right? And we know that that's not the norm. Here's a man married to his old lady 18 years. Now, if he was a broke dude, this is another construct to think about. If she was sharing in the bills, well, she had been there for 18 years. I didn't say if he wasn't paying the bills. I said if she was just sharing in the bills. That would have never lasted 18 years.
Bro, she admitted that she went into the marriage not even loving this dude. You know what I'm saying? So there's an opportunity here for me, right? I'm pregnant by a dude who wants to be a father, who wants to be an active father in his life, who is unwilling to be a baby daddy.
Who wants to love me too. That was his argument.
He loves me.
I fucking love you.
Right.
It wasn't no question or hesitation with him. I drink her baby, her
dirty bath water. Yeah, but her, she's like, nah, we're just having a good time.
I figured after a couple weeks, I like this nigga a little bit.
Yeah, we just having a good time. We were just fucking, and then I got pregnant. Those are her words versus his words is, I love her, I drink her bath water. Her words was, we were just having a good time fucking a lot.
Yeah.
Then I got pregnant.
Did
you love him when you got pregnant?
I learned to.
Learned to sometime after the marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like again, it's everybody's fault. He's a clown for entering into this arrangement. She's a clown for entering into this arrangement. These kids were unwitting participants to this predetermined fucking.
We could say he's at fault, or we can go back to the statement that Bueller knows. Bueller said, we just don't know nothing else. It ain't no fault. This is just what this shit is.
I ain't blaming them.
This is just what this shit is.
I'm blaming everybody. Everybody's tweaking.
But see that no. This is what this shit is.
I agree.
So even
everybody's
tweaking. I'm gonna provide a little bit of pushback to Lucretia specific, right? And this isn't necessarily about this specific conversation. This is about Lucretia's vantage point on the world from the shit I have heard her say and comment on before, right? And this goes back to Bueller's statement of, what if you don't know nothing different? This is just the cauldron of the social narrative that we've been exposed to. Right? Well, if that's the case, when you come to the ideas coming to the college room with a different paradigm, you cannot blame them that was before. You got to adjust. It's not a blame, and that's what I want all to know. This is the narrative. This is the overarching narrative of what relationships are supposed to be. From the outside looking in, they all met the standard of what success should look like. And what we seeing, and this is, again, I said it's nuanced and it's layered and levels to it. But you're never going to reap that. Nobody in the conversation was fulfilled. Because that ain't really what nobody's fucking looking for. That ain't what this human journey is about. It ain't about security. This shit ain't secure. We've all seen the hurricane. We've all seen the tornado. Right. We've all seen an earthquake.
Right.
The ground ain't secure. You can't secure this shit. You have no control over it. So to amass your value set based in security is foolish.
Anchor yourself to something of value and hold on tight.
It's foolish.
Anchor yourself to something of value and hold on tight. In this instance, that anchor should have been the family, and they should have been holding on very, very tight to each other. Instead, their anchor was money, and they weren't holding on to shit but receipts.
Yeah, but that's how valuable love is, though. G, love is the anchor point of this journey.
This is a fact.
But we don't put no real value in it.
This is a fact. Shannon Young says, no one taught us how to be in relationships. That is true. And then it comes, and even though that's true, it brings us back to Tucson's question all day long. When do we stop becoming victims and begin to become volunteers, right? At some point, whether somebody else is like, let me teach y'all how this shit go, or we just learn through trial and error. At some point, we got to realize, okay, this way ain't working. This way right here is not working for us. Maybe we should try a different way of doing this thing. And that is what Relationship Fridays are all about. Trying to find different ways of doing things that are more healthy, that are more sustainable, that are more productive, and ultimately lead to healthier families, which will then lead to healthier communities in our black neighborhoods. That's what this thing is about. And so we have these conversations from different perspectives. We listen to everybody. We view everybody's point of view. We take these little stories and apply them across the spectrum, extrapolate them out across the entire society so we can get to these points where we can get to a space that is healthier, that is better, that is more productive for us.
Although this was harnessed in a relationship with a family, I don't even think this is part of the Relationship Fat Friday construct in a lot of ways, man, because I think this nuanced conversation was a little bit deeper than that.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you because it encompasses how we relate to finances and everything else. Like, I agree with you, right? But at its core, we're trying to get a family together. And, you know, even amongst this Is family, where everybody here is aware that we got issues and in some way, shape, or form engaged in overcoming those issues, we got 15, 20 different perspectives in here, right? Now, it ain't like everybody in here disagrees with everybody, but to have 15 and 20, even in this conversation, is a lot to have. That's a lot to talk through. That's a lot to work through. And, you know, that work is before us. We got to get that work done. It is the foundation on which we need to build everything else on top of. We got to get this thing right. Thank y'all so very, very much for being a part of this conversation today. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all's input as always. It is extremely valued. It is extremely appreciated. We have to go. Make sure y'all get up early tomorrow with the Maze Jackson Show starring the one and only Ruthie Moore.
Doing that tomorrow?
Yeah, the Maze Jackson Show is
the Ruthie Moore Show. Why you always fucking up the name?
I'll be fucking up. The Ruthie Moore Show. You're right. The Ruthie Moore Show tomorrow at 6 a.m. Y'all get up with them and hang out. I don't know who else is doing their show. Again, if you can, if prayer is your thing, please send an extra prayer up this evening for our sister Don Millhouse.
We love you, Don. Salute,
Wilbur
man.
Millhouse, their entire family dealing with the loss of Mr. Millhouse's mother on this morning. So please, if you are a praying person, keep that family, the Millhouse family, lifted up in prayer this evening. We will be back here tomorrow as well at 3 p.m. I don't know who else is going to do their show. I know that the Ruthie Moore Show is happening. I know that Is is happening. I'm not sure what else. Oh, no. On the green side of things, the collective conversation definitely happening tomorrow. In fact, they got a pretty big show that y'all should be tuned in for. So that'll be tomorrow at 12. Other than that, I'm not sure what's happening from 9 to 12. We'll figure that thing out. But we'll see y'all back here for sure tomorrow at 3 p.m.
We're going to be on some ignorant shit tomorrow. We got Pimp coming in?
Oh, we getting ignorant tomorrow. We're getting super, super ignorant tomorrow. We will see y'all back here tomorrow at 3. Happy holidays to y'all. Until then, 4, Flow, 4, 2. My name is Herb. Y'all be good to each other.
Assalamu alaikum.